morning. Happy Friday. Hey. No way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance gotta pay the toll. Choose truth or face the dole. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Too full to float. Happy Friday. Denied Olympian decree nothing tote. Eternal chains, no antidote. Greetings. Cause convene, truth unseen. Sir. Demigods whisper, lost souls scream. Do it. Follow the path or drown in the stream. Zeus' wrath, a cruel dream. Hey. We made it. It's Friday again. Wow. That's right. Good morning. Happy Friday. You know what we came to do, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what we came to do. PA, good morning. Izzy, good morning. Let's go ahead and get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those likes up this morning. You know what it is. Woo! Hey! Yes, thank you so much. Yes, we need to vote. All right, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you know exactly what we are here for. All right, good morning, Mrs. Silk. Nice to see ya. Oh my goodness. Hopefully we don't get too much chaos this morning, right? We like a nice, smooth show. We don't want too many people out there getting carried away, right? Doesn't she look lovely, by the way? Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Time to show and prove, show you what I've been doing. They saying fools rush in, but I'm coming with a passion. None have came up yet. I think they've heard about Zeus. Good morning, Tara. Nice to see ya. Just another day in the Golden State. Shout out to the Golden State. Seasons 365. Thank you for the subscription. Kamala is beautiful, and the world knows it. Yesterday was a gym. You enjoyed that brother? He admitted he was a part of the Confederate. I said, well, there's nothing I can really do with you after that, Jim. Good morning, Tiffany, for the people. Grand Rising, Brown Sugar. I was born to be a winner. You can never stop me. Hey, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. No, I love you. You know that. You know how this goes. I love you, but thank you, seriously. We're getting closer and closer to finally turning the page on Donald Trump and his cult, right? Let's get it too spicy. I ain't even had my coffee. All right. Let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show started. Happy Friday. What is today's date? September 27th. All right. This month is pretty much over after today, right? For those of you, well, first of all, let's get started with some of the housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. The second H is because I am humble. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you guessed it, I am and will always remain the most handsome. Many of you are familiar. Good morning, Yazzie Jazzy. Many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of TikTok, on this side of town. One, we're supporting this woman right here to be the next president of the United States of America. Because we actually care about our country. But along those lines, what we do is we hold our friends on the right, especially their orange cult leader, all right, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as their crimes. And believe you me, when it comes to dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, isn't it safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, the folks on the right, they seem to have just hit the jackpot when it comes to committing crimes, right? I mean, what I'm starting to understand about a lot of the folks who are on the so-called right, not only are they criminals, but a lot of them are just downright foolish, all right? Especially after this week, we've just had a foolish person after foolish person after foolish person get up and actually try to explain why they are supporting Donald Trump. And here's the thing about it. Everything that these Trump supporters are complaining about when it comes to this woman, Vice President Harris, we got 100 examples of things that the former president has done that's actually 10 times worse. And even when you give this information to these Trump supporters, they continue to double down on the nonsense. It's really sickening, all right? And so listen, if you are a Trump supporter, all right, I got a bit of a heads up. I'm actually starting to realize maybe there's just no hope for you to get out of that cult. Maybe there's just no hope for a Trump supporter to leave the cult because the MAGA demon is very strong. They've sold their souls to Donald Trump. I don't know what the price is. Are there any Trump supporters out there? Are there any Trump supporters? How much does Donald Trump give you for your soul? How much does he give you? I'm curious because, see, this is unusual, all right? And while they're sitting there trying to figure out how to respond to that question, I got something else to say. If you're a Trump supporter and you're allergic to the truth, or as my good friend, Brother Swervin likes to say, you're lactose intolerant, you might want to leave this live and get started with your miserable morning, all right? Because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. All right? But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too.
Right.
But if you're not happy, you can leave.
There you go. There you go. All right. Again, gentlemen. So, if you're a Trump supporter right now, put a 1 in the chat. If you're a Trump supporter right now, please put a 1 in the chat, all right? Because I definitely want to get your understanding about what's happening in this country. And then I want to make sure you leave a little more informed than you were before you sent the request to Zeus's box, all right? And I don't got all morning to do this, all right? Seriously, I don't. All right, and seriously, I'm just kind of only trying to talk to the MAGA at this moment, all right? But don't worry, I do it a little different. I ping pong between MAGA and normal people on this show. I really do. All right, so who is this? L. Low. I just sent you a guest request, Low. And I'm going to go ahead and try again, Low, and accept the guest request, all right? Because what I want to make sure every person out there that's confused about why I support Kamala Harris has a very clear understanding. There's a gentleman in the comments section. His name is Trash Bait. He brands himself as the Lord Jesus. You see him in the chat, but he's not the Lord Jesus. He's the anti-Jesus. He's Antichrist. And this is a great example of what I mean. He goes around and he's very vile. He's vulgar. He's disgusting. And as a matter of fact, he makes me sick. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this Antichrist knucklehead in my chat what he deserves. We'll go ahead and send him to the lake of fire. Let's give him a round of booze and shame. Get out of here. I mean, this...
Silence, you MAGA demon.
These are some of the most ungrateful human beings on the planet. You know, I've been telling that same knucklehead, I said, if you don't like the way President Biden and Kamala Harris are running the country, do America, the world, a huge favor. Leave and go join the Russian army, seriously, because we're tired of people trying to always talk crazy about this country, all right? So put a 1 in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Trump supporter. Just a friendly reminder, For those of you who believe Donald Trump is actually better at addressing immigration issues and what's going on at the border, our vice president today is planning to visit the border. Isn't that amazing, right? She's heading to Arizona to visit the border. You're looking for me. I was looking for you. All right. Oh, wait a second. We got a knucklehead in the chat. Daniel, please get in the box. It's your turn. All right. I've summoned you. And you know what I say on this show. If they're lying in the chat and then I bring them up into and I say, come on up in the box and let's have the conversation. And you decline my invitation, I'll tell my moderators, put Daniel in a straitjacket. I don't want Daniel in the comment section. Thank you, Little Hawk, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. If I invite you up and you decline the invitation, that means you're scared or you're a Russian bot or you're lying, one of those three. And at the end of the day, I have a zero tolerance policy for it. And the moderators, they are allowed to put you in a straitjacket so that I could continue to minister to your dark, desolate souls. All right. So that's Daniel. He's out of the way. Any other Trump supporters out there, please put a 1 in the chat, all right? So like I was saying, Vice President Kamala Harris, she will be visiting the border, all right, and showing the rest of this country how you really should be addressing things that are going on in terms of immigration, all right? Michael, you're up next, all right? I saw you put a 1 in the chat. I'm assuming you're a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I voted for Biden last time. I can't bring myself to vote for Harris this time.
Wow, okay, great. And you know what I do, right?
You do the political TikTok lives?
Yeah, but also thank you, Rick C, for the nice Happy Friday. Well, not just me, but I have a great team of people here, right? And what our goal is to, first of all, get an understanding of why you're in the cult, right? And then try to offer you a way out of the cult, all right? So that when you go and vote, you're actually feeling real great, like you did the right thing, like you're a real patriot, all right? So that's what we do here. I mean, it's definitely around politics, but I like to explore the thought process a little more, if you don't mind.
Okay. Can I ask you one question before we get started?
It's sure.
How do you feel about the reparations out in California, the 2 cities that passed the reparation ordinance?
What was included with it? I'm not quite familiar. I've heard that an apology
I think they're using it through property taxes is what I saw, but I can't even be sure on that.
Yeah. Well,
different articles saying 3 different things.
I'll make it simple for you. I'm in support of reparations, and and whatever that was that you're suggesting they done. If anything, it's just a step in the right direction. But there's a lot of steps they got to take to get this thing.
I support reparations for race issues, but I also believe that we should have reparations for unalive draftees. We still have non-draftees that are suffering from PTSD to this very day that are alive.
Wait a second. Wait a second now. You just can't go around and conflate things. I get what you're trying to say. You believe there should be support on both sides for both causes, but I believe the issue as it relates to America's first sin, which is slavery and, some might say colonizing, right? That's America's first sin. You get that, right? So you can't just say everyone should just be able to benefit from that. The
reason why that comes from was, I don't know if you saw in the comment right before the one that I put, I had said 24 trillion for unalive drafted men since Harris asked what laws govern male bodies. Now we have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom from consequences for that speech. Now, do you think running for president that is pushing the country closer to World War III than we have been in a long time?
So wait a second.
Military enlistment is the lowest number.
Michael.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so are we leaving the whole concept of reparations? Because I just want to make sure I don't want you mixing the two when it comes to reparations.
That's why there should be reparations for both.
Well, I get that, but I don't need you to worry about both. Just focus on it for the one thing, which was the harm caused by slavery in this country, all right? And then table what you want to talk about with that other thing, all right? That's just what I want you to do, because I want you to be a better human, all right? Don't just sit there and say, well, if I can't get any of it, then I don't want anyone else to get of it. No, This is America's first sin, and it needs to be atoned for. Boom, we're done with that issue. All right, you don't like it, but I'm telling you it. All right,
Well,
you're not
no,
Are you a person of color?
Can I ask if we
Are you a person of color?
No, sir.
Oh,
if we
okay,
compare
'cause
the
I-
issues, if we compare the issues,
No.
2% of whiteys own slaves, correct?
No.
Yes.
No, no, no,
Only
no, no, no,
2%.
no, 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 no,
Only
no, no.
2% of whitey people own slaves. You can look it up.
Woo, woo. Where you get that from?
It's in the history books.
Okay. So, what is the impact of being robbed 400 plus years of generational wealth? What's the impact of that? Even if you want to use your little 2%, that's a lot of wealth that has been robbed.
Well, no, I was just comparing.
And you compound, and if you compound the interest on that, you know what happens when you compound interest with the time. Oh my goodness, you start to understand there's a huge issue in this country. No wonder,
I'm just
like
saying
you
that
like
we
to
can
say,
compare
you like to complain about,
percentage-wise.
y'all like to complain about inner city crime. Why you think these folks is committing? Because they ain't got no money. Well, what happened to the money? Oh, they were robbed for centuries.
I'm
So,
trying to get you
so,
to
so,
understand
so,
why I
no. So I want to just go ahead because you're going to get me upset, and I don't like to get upset early in the morning. It's Friday. Let's get into Vice President Kamala Harris. All right. I hope we can have a better conversation on that front.
Do you think she should be allowed to use the all-male SSF if war does break out?
What the heck are you talking about? What war? You said earlier, right? We're heading towards. Yeah.
World War III than we have been. If you
Why?
look at what's happening in Israel and Ukraine, especially with Ukraine, with them providing the long-range missiles, Russia has made it clear that the first one that hits, they'll consider that.
How many
us
red
attacking
lines?
them.
How many red lines has Russia drawn since this conflict broke out?
Right.
Do you really?
So
Are you?
are they
Listen,
gonna push them
Michael.
until they finally
Michael,
decide?
Michael, hear what I'm saying. Russia is not winning this conflict as it is. They are in no position to handle, if you think there would be a World War III, they are in no position to go up against NATO. Their army is currently getting wiped out just dealing with Ukraine. And there is no one in Russia, Iran, or China that will authorize Vladimir Putin to use nukes. And they just had a test the other day, and you saw how that went. They couldn't even get it up. Listen, Michael,
Russia just rewrote its nuclear ordinance, right?
Michael, did you hear what I just said?
Right, they just
Are they-
rewrote their ordinance though
See-
to say they don't require a nuclear attack
Michael,
to use nukes.
Michael,
All
they could-
that's required
Michael.
is their sovereignty at risk.
Michael, do you hear what I'm saying? They're losing troops by the day, correct?
Yeah, but so
Okay.
is Ukraine.
Ukraine just got $2.4 billion worth of aid from the United States.
Yeah, well, that's
Okay, so-
money.
so-
That's not troops.
Are
They're
you-
still losing troops?
Michael,
sometimes in
Mi-
higher numbers on certain days.
Michael, here's the deal. And this is why I'm not necessarily concerned. Vladimir has had a lot of red lines throughout this conflict, and each time his bluff has been called. Ukraine has already invaded Russia. All right? So what that shows me is there's a lot of issues with Russia. And guess what? Within the Russia, the oligarchs are fighting because they're wondering who's going to replace Vladimir in the event he dies. He's an older guy, right? And there's factions within that are possibly going to take him out. The economy is spiraling out of control. Vladimir Putin is not worried about dropping a so-called nuke. He's worried about people within the country actually turning against him. And the pressure just got ratcheted up because guess what? President Biden and this woman right here, Vice President Kamala Harris, they've been constantly turning up the temperature on Vladimir Putin. You understand? This is why we know if you actually have two candidates, Donald Trump or Vice President Harris, we know Putin is definitely more intimidated by the Biden-Harris administration than he is about Donald Trump, who we know is going to get in there and give him what he wants. So don't get in here and start trying to act like you're all of a sudden scared of World War III breaking out when your same candidate is the one that said, wouldn't it be great if we got along with Russia? The one that was colluding with Russia.
That was proven that
No,
was paid
no.
for by Hillary's campaign on the Steele dossier. That was fake.
See, this is why I don't want to say you're possessed with the MAGA demon, but it's one of the two at this
dude, are you
point.
denying it? The Department of Justice even said so. Are you saying the DOJ is a liar now?
Do you trust the DOJ?
No.
So then don't even bring it up because you know where I'm going with you. As soon as people
But I
like
mean,
you,
I'm just saying.
no,
you
Michael,
saying the
Michael,
DOJ is lying now.
Michael.
Because the DOJ said Hillary paid for that with campaign funds.
I'm not talking about that. What
The
I'm
Steele
talking,
dossier was paid for and bought by Hillary. It was fake.
okay, but Michael, I'm not talking about the Steele dossier. I was talking about Russia collusion. All right, we're talking about Don. We're talking about Don Jr.
Steele dossier, my man.
So you don't know about Don Jr. in the Trump Tower meetings?
And that was about adopting. That was about Russians adopting American kids.
Woo, Lord have mercy. And why did his campaign manager go to prison?
Because the DOJ is heavily one-sided. They spent 2 years investigating Trump. They can't spend 1 day investigating Pelosi saying she wanted the economy to tank right before C-19 came out.
So so remember what I said we do on this show.
1 day investigating that.
Remember what I said we did on this show, right? I first try to probe around your mind to kind of explore where you're at in the cult. And the assessment that I got is you're definitely neck deep.
I'm just saying. Have they investigated Pelosi? No, they haven't. Not even 1 day. Not even 1 hour.
Can I ask you a question? What should they be investigating Nancy Pelosi for?
Because she said she wanted the economy to tank or Trump would get reelected. This was shortly after he was elected the first time. And then 3 weeks later, C-19, the first case comes out. She happens, just coincidentally, to have the highest number of Chinese constituents in all of the country. Okay. That just happens to be a coincidence. They can't spend 1 day investigating a statement of treason, wanting the economy to tank as the Speaker of the House.
Okay.
He's treasonous.
Okay. All right. Now, we've heard a lot of the theories and the conspiracies you have. Now, what I'm going to ask you is a couple of questions, and then I want you to just really answer it based on your understanding. All right? So you mentioned the pandemic. What do you think about the pandemic? Does Trump bear any responsibility?
I think Congress was so busy with their sham impeachment that they couldn't react to it.
Their sham impeachment?
Oh yeah, I mean, look, it even failed. Did the Senate validate it, or did the Senate?
Okay.
It was a sham impeachment.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Pelosi
So
spent how much on those pens? How much did Pelosi spend on those pens?
Okay.
She was flaunting around, acting like a little child.
All right. So I'm gonna do a couple of these things. And listen, we can't just keep dancing around conspiracies. I need you to just bear with me for a quick second. Is that possible? Are you able to just kind of stay on one topic, or do I need to let you stick your head out of the window and get some air real quick?
I'm just saying, if we saw investigations
No.
on the other side, at least, then
Michael,
there would be at least the idea of transparency.
Okay.
Right now, they investigate one side, and that's it.
All right. So, Michael,
unless
Michael,
a Democrat upsets.
Michael, Jesus Christ! Now hit unmute. That was the first one. I need you to hit unmute, and I need you to just have the conversation. You're hyperventilating, and it's getting annoying, right? We've talked about you've mentioned a lot of different things, and I'm not up here just, randomly trying to hit every one of those targets. Let's stick to one. Now, what happened in May of 2018 in the Trump administration? Do you know?
May of 2018?
Yes.
Tell me what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm going to read this to you, and you can go look it up yourself. The Trump administration disbands the White House pandemic response team. You know why Donald Trump did that?
Probably because the way the World Health Organization provided every bit of weapons data China could ever need.
No, because it was something Obama had in place, and he wanted to undo it. Because guess what? He wanted to stick it to Obama.
I'll agree. Politics has gotten petty on both sides.
Okay. No. So follow me.
But I think
No, Michael.
That's where everything snowballed since then.
Michael, I didn't even ask all of that. So if you have a sitting president undo something like that, who do you blame? Nancy Pelosi, Barack Hussein Obama, or the sitting president?
I'm saying Pelosi and Congress could have.
No, Michael,
they weren't busy with their sham impeachment during that.
Michael, I'll address the sham impeachment as well, but I need you to at least walk with me on this thought process, because I believe you're capable of thinking, but you're doing exactly what every Trump supporter before you has done. You're revealing to us all that you're afraid to look at who Donald Trump really is. And that's scary. Did you, how much did he charge you when he paid for your soul? Or you gave it to him for free?
Wow.
So can you answer the
Okay.
question? Can you answer the question? If he disbanded the pandemic response team in 2018, whose fault is that?
When you look at the way the Democrats were,
Wrong, sir. I'm going to talk about the sham impeachments next.
No,
But in,
no,
for,
I'm talking about what you're talking about, the White House pandemic
okay,
response.
he disbanded it, which basically left us open for disaster in the event an actual pandemic occurred, which it did.
I'm talking about why he disbanded it.
No, I'm asking you who's responsible for disbanding it. I didn't ask you why.
And he
Thank
did
you.
the right
Thank you.
thing disbanding that.
No. Thank you. So I don't want to hear about Nancy
He did the
Pelosi.
right thing disbanding that.
So you believe he mismanaged? So you believe he managed the pandemic great?
I feel like if he would have been
I didn't ask
allowed
how
to
you
handle it
feel.
the way
I didn't ask.
he wanted to, it would have been even better.
I didn't ask you how you felt. I'm asking you, a sitting president of the United States disbanded our defenses for a pandemic because it was a
Right.
personal issue between him and the former president at the time, Barack Obama.
But how did
and
your
look,
side's vaccines work out?
Wait.
How did that work out for you, buddy? No, they didn't. How many myocarditis? How much cases of myocarditis does those shots cause across the country?
sir, honestly, what's the highest level of education?
I mean, I graduated high school. I went to the Army Technical College in Fort Gordon.
Anything beyond that?
No, a little bit of college, but
Nope.
I never
it-
stuck with it.
Are you in a relationship at all?
Yeah,
Do you have arguments with your significant other?
not really.
Oh, wow. Has anyone ever given you any feedback about like your communication skills?
Yeah,
What are some of the feedback you've heard other people say about you?
that I'm hard to keep up with because I'm the dots I jump. But I do. I think about a lot of different things at once.
Okay. Do you ever do anything with that feedback, or do you just brush it off and just think to yourself, they don't understand who I am because everything that I'm thinking about is way more important than the relationship? Is that kind of how you are? Because this is alarming. I've talked to a lot of Trump supporters. I personally, it is what it is when it comes to who you vote for. I'm fine with that. But if we're seriously trying to have a conversation and you're jumping all over the place, I feel like, you're just not really trying to have the conversation. You're just trying to get out here and say all the things that go across your mind. Do you know how many things go across my mind?
I just see the connection. So, like, when they talk about my body, my choice, I wonder where the
Wait a
imaginary
second.
right to bodily autonomy was when 1.1 million men got drafted.
Okay. So we
You
can't.
see how I connect things?
Yeah, but you're not doing a good job staying on topic. It's like okay, one trick, and you think you can beat the entire video game with that one move. It's not going to work. You got to start showing you have the ability to learn other things and adapt. And you're just flat out refusing it. And you know what's so interesting is if you go back and listen to some of the things Donald Trump says, he says he loves the poorly uneducated. So if you connect dots, one would have to assume you're uneducated. And that's why Donald Trump loves you, right? Michael,
I
right?
think I just get hung up on the hypocrisies a little bit more than most people.
No, you get hung up. You don't get hung up on hypocrisies. You get
Well,
just
I get
you
hung
just
up on hypocrisies.
you just get hung up because I was giving you a timeline of things that happened during the Trump administration. That's not hypocrisy. These are facts.
No, I mean, I'm talking about like on the whole thing about, you know, with the women on the draft thing and the bodily autonomy.
Wait a second,
Like,
but
if it was a real right and not imaginary, they never would have been able to draft
okay,
men.
okay. But here's the thing: you're talking about that. I'm not. So it's a problem.
It's Harris's campaign. She ran under My Body, My Choice. She ran under Believe All Women. Then Terrence Shannon Jr. happened this year under her. I mean, but yet she doesn't.
Michael, come back to earth. Come back to earth, bro. Come back to earth. So I just want to wrap this up about the pandemic, and you don't even need to do any more thinking. I'll do it for you. All right, I'm giving you the answers to the test. This is evidence that shows that we had a government official at the highest level making a very bad decision when it came to the health and safety of all Americans. And if you drill down and you go, why did that decision happen? And you get to the point where he just did it because he didn't like Obama, that's reckless. And it cost Americans their lives. And if you go through this timeline, and you could go look this up yourself, you will see failure after failure that starts and ends with Donald Trump. So that's your first clue. He's just a terrible leader. Number one. Now, you said there were sham impeachments. Do you know why he was impeached the first time?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the collusion. That's what they were. That's what they were.
I hate to tell you you're wrong, but I got to tell you you're wrong. So this, and you want to go and vote, and you want to make sure you do it and you feel good about it, but don't vote and then go back years later and go, oh, I didn't know that before I voted. No, you're going to know why. He was impeached for doing what?
Tell me.
Withholding aid from Ukraine. And why was he doing that?
Because he didn't think they should be fighting. He thought they should be working it out. He knew
No.
that they were a lost cause. They can't win it. It was going to be a money drain.
No. Where'd you get those ideas from?
He does not want us getting pushed into bigger wars.
No.
Other people's issues.
Why? Where did you get all that information from? Because look at the chat. They're all saying you're wrong. And this is where the real work needs to happen, Michael. You have to let go of your ego and admit you don't know or you've been lied to. One of the two. Because you're getting ready to go vote for somebody that you really don't know.
Well, I voted for Biden last time.
No.
The feds were telling me that the
Michael,
didn't exist.
Michael, I'm going to explain why he was impeached the first time. He was withholding aid from Ukraine because guess what he wanted? Dirt on President Biden and his son Hunter Biden. Dirt that never materialized, right? And you know there was no dirt because the Republicans during Biden's time in office, they've been trying to impeach him. And guess what? They haven't impeached him.
Then what do they have on him that got him to step down now?
Nothing.
No, they're holding something over Hunter's head. That's for sure.
Didn't Hunter get convicted? And Hunter is not even
haven't
running.
Charged him with CP for the underage girls on the laptop.
Michael, you don't want to have these conversations with me. All right? Because I've been talking to everyone just like you. You're not the first person that brought this idea up to Zeus. You're not. A lot of people like yourself have came and talked to me. Michael, let me finish what I was saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Michael, so he was impeached because he was withholding aid from Ukraine because he wanted dirt on President Biden. And they impeached him. Now, was he convicted? Was he convicted in the Senate? No, but that's a ding on his record.
Didn't Biden
The second
get that
impeachment-
phone call saying he would withhold if they didn't get rid of that prosecutor?
No.
He did the exact same thing.
No. Who was Biden trying to get dirt on?
Biden was trying to get them.
Michael, this is
the
Michael,
prosecutor investigating his son. Step down.
Michael, this is serious. You just laughed. This is very serious. I'm concerned.
It is serious. He did this same thing. He called Ukraine and said, "I'm going to withhold the weapons unless this prosecutor is removed within the next 24 hours."
Michael, it's not the same thing.
Okay.
And can you take this conversation a little serious, sir?
All I know is
No.
Harris gets in
So,
office with
Michael,
suing the Selective Service and the
Michael,
DOD on day one for gender discrimination.
Michael, can you take this conversation a little serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did he get impeached a second time?
What was the second one for?
So let me get this. Let me make sure I understand this, Michael. You're about to go vote in November, and you have no clue that Donald Trump has already been impeached twice.
No, I know he's been
Or,
impeached.
or you don't know why.
I'm saying, go ahead and tell me what the second time was for.
Take a guess. G-Man, thank you. Take a guess.
The way that the pandemic was handled. No.
Michael. Whew. Do you remember January 6th?
Yeah, where he tweeted out, "Go peacefully." Yeah, I remember that.
What else did he do?
He requested National Guard. Pelosi denied it.
What else did he do?
He told him to go and fight like hell.
That's not enough to get you impeached.
Well, I mean, that's what they impeached him for.
So you know what, Michael? Where I'm at with this is apparently you're not so bright, and I'd hate to say that about you, or you're being willfully ignorant. All right, and it's not showing that you're willing to actually learn. So he was impeacched for what he did on January 6th. Wait a second. Whoa.
Or to be president.
I know, but you should want to be a patriot. You should want to look out for your country. All right.
Well, I'm looking at all the comments that people are saying to the disabled vet up here, so I'm seeing some true patriots in this room.
Well, we didn't. Wait. Don't get in here and weaponize your status. We didn't know that about you.
I'm looking at the way that people talk to veterans in this country.
No, wait a second. Wait. Well, first of all, if you're a veteran, thank you for your service. But we didn't know that. So you can't weaponize that against people. They're literally listening to you and I have a conversation. And you're saying things that are harmful to the community. You cannot use your status to continue causing harm with your lies and your misinformation. These things have consequences. Now, are you just playing around, or do you really not know this stuff that you and I are talking about?
You even got My Time to Shine saying he's no vet. That's for sure. Wow.
Well, here's the deal. Now that you know that Donald Trump has been impeached twice, right? Right? Now that's kind of understood.
I knew
they're not sham impeachments. Wait a minute, they're not sham impeachments. All right, we just went over how he mismanaged the pandemic. Let's get into the convictions. He's been convicted, correct?
Yep.
Right.
But I mean,
no.
Imagine a little white tee girl accused you of something, and then you said she was a liar, but you couldn't prove she was a liar, and she sued you. So you'll be a hypocrite if you ever get falsely accused by a white girl and you try to say she's lying. You're going to be a hypocrite yourself, my man. You're voting against your own interest.
Michael, I'm not talking about the lawsuit. I'm talking about the convictions. I'll get to the lawsuit too. How about that? So why was he convicted?
He was convicted for not being able to prove that she was lying. It was defamation of character was what he was sued for the civil case. The 34 counts were for business fraud or whatever, or campaign fraud thing for the payment to Stormy Daniels or whatever.
So, gee, whoa. Now that's just nasty. Don't you burp in my ear. That is sick. That's a sick MAGA demon. You know what, Michael? You ran out of options, sir. You ran out of options. Yeah, he's very rude. He's a disgusting, rude human being. Michael. Oh my goodness, Michael. Hit unmute. Could you not do those things in my ear?
I didn't mean to. My bad. I'm
Yeah.
drinking.
What the heck are you drinking?
I'm day drinking.
All right, Michael. Well, guess what? I'm going to have to let you do what you do in your lair. All right. It's clear to me that there's no helping folks like yourself.
My whole thing on it
No,
is
no, 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 Michael, Michael, don't, Michael, what I'm going to do, Michael, no one trusts you. Michael, save your words. No one in here trusts you. You've just revealed yourself to be a fully certified MAGA demon. And unfortunately, you're a prime candidate for hell. So guess what, Michael? Guess what I got to do? I'm going to have to toss you somewhere that you might find comfortable, but it's really not a great place. It's called the Lake of Fire. Unfortunately, that's where you'll spend the rest of your miserable life unless you decide to get out of the cult. All right? Any last words, Michael?
Well, thanks for having me on, my man. Nice.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending that MAGA-possessed demon, burping and day drinking, lying his you-know-it-all. Join me in giving him a round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Oh, wait, someone said I'm brainwashed. Woo, that's interesting. Come on up here. Is that Michelle? Come on up here. Tell me why Zeus is brainwashed. Come on up here. It's Friday. All right, I get it. This is what y'all into. Y'all do some wild stuff on Friday. This is why Donald Trump loves. This is why Donald Trump loves y'all. It's not because he believes you guys are intelligent. No, it's quite the opposite. Lucas, I just sent you an invite. Lucas. You know the drill. If I send you an invite, Lucas, and you decline it, I'm going to tell my moderators, do what they need to. Put her in a straitjacket. Yeah, because I don't like folks like you soiling my comment section. Oh, yeah, well, if you're at work, don't say anything else. Thank you, Southern Delight. You just focus on whatever you're doing at work and let me continue to minister to your long-lost soul. Because you're lost. If I were your employer, you know what I'd do? You know what? I don't need you anymore. It's over. Because clearly you're not adding, you're subtracting from the business with that level of thinking. You, sir. Yes, you is, sir. Brainwashed all your life. All right, Randolph. Come on up here, Randolph. Come on up here. We've been looking for you, Randolph. Cut it out, trash bait. Randolph, get in the box. These people want to hear from you, Randolph. Tell Zeus what you don't know. Trump is smart enough to know his supporters aren't. Yeah. So you had that previous guest who clearly is full of lies and misinformation. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a deranged Trump supporter and you believe Donald Trump is the best thing for this country since sliced bread. Randolph, I sent you one more invite. All right. And if you don't accept it, you know what I'm going to do. You know what? To hell you go. All right. No nickname. Come on up, all right? Come on up. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a MAGA Trump supporting individual. They all probably been, sipping on that Kool-Aid this morning. No nickname. What's going on in the background?
Yo.
What's going on in the background?
I'm going on. That's what's going on.
It's kind of loud.
I'm a loud kind of guy.
Oh, okay. Well, what brings you to the show? Are you driving?
I just wanted your thoughts on what do you think about P. Diddy and the freak-offs?
Are you driving?
No, sir.
Sounds like you're driving. Here, I don't want to risk it, but I'll tell you this. Right is wrong is wrong. And if he did what he did, then he got to pay the price. And I do know that him and Donald Trump were quite close, right? When you're not driving, you come on back up, all right? Yeah. All right. Now, put a 1 in the chat. I just didn't want to risk it. Put a 1 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. if you are a Trump supporter, you believe Donald Trump is the best thing for this country since sliced bread. Yes, and we know they hung out together. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter and you believe Donald Trump is the best thing for this country. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. I see somebody. Hold on. I see a couple of MAGA demons out there. All right. Yeah. Let's go. Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? Come on up. Jesus Christ, it's getting hot in here. Greetings. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. You're a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
All right. What part of the country are you from?
Well, I'm in what do you call it? Joe Biden's land, Texas. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, what part then are you in?
North. I'm in Dallas.
Okay, shout out to Dallas.
Well, Dallas is Joe Biden's city. There's a lot of Democrats here in Dallas. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, why are you voting for Trump?
I just like his experience from the first time. I really do. I think he got kind of cut short during the pandemic, and I thought his policies were good before.
Okay.
And I thought he was doing good there at the end. I don't know how I don't know how to judge someone on a pandemic that no one ever had to go through before, but
Well, you
if
can
wanted
judge
to
him.
and said he did a bad job. I guess that's what you got to do, right? I guess that's an opinion because you really can't compare it to no one else. So
I mean, what? So none of the things that occurred, like him being impeached, bothered you.
Bill Clinton's impeachment didn't bother me either. So I mean,
Well, did you vote for Bill Clinton?
no.
Why not?
I kind of no. You know what? I don't think I even voted that year. Really, I just voted for George Bush twice. No, I voted for Al Gore, George Bush, Al Gore, McCain. I didn't vote for Mitt Romney, but like I said, I didn't really.
So are you an independent? How are you registered?
I'm registered Republican.
Okay. So why do you think there's all these Republicans that used to be within the Trump administration? They're saying, you know what, this guy's no good. We're getting out and we're not supporting him. Or in some cases, they're saying that they're supporting Vice President Kamala Harris. What do you think that's about?
Well, you know what? I can think of one guy already. I think his name is Anthony Scaramucci, and I know he got fired 10 days into his I guess his job. Donald Trump fired him. The guy took it personal. I think there's a lot of people within his administration that took it personal when they got fired. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I can understand the love loss.
Oh, okay. So let me get this straight. You think you know more than they do?
No, I'm just saying. I think I know the love loss. I mean, if I definitely don't like any of the bosses that fired me when I was younger. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to say, "Hey, I like that guy. I love that guy."
Are we there? Okay, great. All right. So here's the deal.
All right.
Here's the deal. Would you say Mike Pence knows more about Donald Trump than you?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about the fact that Mike Pence won't endorse him? What do you think that happened? What do you think that was about?
Maybe.
I'll give you an example.
I know he came back and said something about Donald Trump doing the kind of the fake elector scam and all that. And then he comes.
Let me hear it. No. Let me just go ahead and give it to you.
Irrespective of the indictment, I want the American people to know that I had no right to overturn the election. And then on that day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution. But I chose the Constitution, and I always will. Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be President of the United States. And anyone who asks someone else to put themselves over the Constitution should never be President of the United States again. What the President maintained that day, and frankly has said over and over again over the last 2.5 years, is completely false. I dismissed it out of hand, but sadly the President was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers that kept telling him what his itching ears wanted to hear. And I had hoped that on this matter of January 6th that it wouldn't come to this, because I do believe that this is going to further ignite the divide in the country. it'll be up to the government now to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this actually represented criminal activity. But what I want the American people to know is that I know in my heart of hearts that I did my duty under the Constitution that day.
What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I know Mike Pence actually came out again and said the opposite, really.
No.
He actually had a press conference where he said that that he was told to do something.
What do you call yourself, M. McCara?
It's just I messed it up, man. It's M. Carrera. It's
M. Carrera.
Yes, sir.
Carrera. Okay, listen. What you just heard was straight from the horse's mouth.
But that's not saying it all, though.
No. What did you hear him say? He said Donald Trump.
That's just like the.
Do you understand Donald Trump? Okay,
Go
Jack
ahead.
Smith has just submitted 180 pages, I believe, to Judge Tanya Chutkan in relation to Donald Trump's election subversion case out there in Washington, D.C. And you know what they say?
What?
That evidence consists of statements from the vice president, Mike Pence.
Okay.
So, with that understanding,
I'll have to read that, man, because
it's not out just yet because it's just happened yesterday. All right. What this shows is there's a lot of evidence that Mike Pence had that supports the reason he's being prosecuted.
So let's go with Mike Pence, right? But let's Mike Pence. I understand where you're going at with that, but let's talk about Jack Smith. Has he really been successful in getting Trump in jail or even getting him away from the election at all?
Well, we haven't had the trial.
Well, you haven't had the trial, but he's had his hand in a bunch of other trials.
If you've been
And he
following
really
it,
hasn't had any success. So Donald Trump is probably right now has a 50-50 chance of being president from the polls.
okay.
Right?
Wait a second.
And he's not losing any voters on what you're saying. Kamala's not gaining any voters. from
Wait a
what
second. Whoa. We were just talking about Mike Pence, not Jack Smith.
But you just said Jack Smith, though.
Yeah, because in his filing, it includes statements that involve what Mike Pence had in terms of evidence that helps prove Donald Trump actually did commit crimes. And I'm trying to ask you, why would the second-ranking official in the United States of America go on record and say that the president wanted him to place him above the United States Constitution? That to me is a cause for alarm. And any reasonable person would have to agree. That's cause for an alarm. And it's not coming from the Democrats. It's coming from a real, and this is what I say, a real Republican.
A real Republican?
Way more than you.
Well,
more than you.
Is Pence voting for Donald Trump?
No.
How can he be a real Republican then?
Because he just explained to you nobody should be president that thinks they're above the Constitution. In other words, he understands Donald Trump is a real threat to our democracy, and he cannot, in good faith, endorse him. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to put. It's like this. Should we ever let the Joker run the Batcave?
Well, I mean,
should you?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, I know that for a fact that Mike Pence came back on his words on everything he said on that. I know there's a press conference where he said,
"This is Lord have mercy,"
that none of this really happened, and you're just telling me that Jack Smith filed a report.
Let me flip the script and try it.
And
this
you don't
way.
even know what's on it. You just said Mike Pence. Hey, well, what's this?
Wait a second. What if Kamala Harris came out and said, Joe Biden asked me to place him above the Constitution, and I didn't do it? What would your opinion about that be? Would you say, no, Kamala, you were wrong. You should have went along with Joe Biden. Would you have had that same energy?
But would you? I mean, what would you do? That's not my party.
But it's still right is right, wrong is wrong, regardless of what party you're in.
And right now you're telling me right is right and right is wrong, but you don't think Joe Biden's ever done anything wrong?
I never suggested that he didn't do anything wrong, but if we're talking,
man, you got to look at it both ways, because I don't think really Donald Trump. He's been
sir,
and he's still out,
sir. All I'm saying is we can't really say Biden did that because there is no insurrection to point to. We can't say Biden's been impeached because there hasn't been any impeachments to point to. So you can't really do that. But in the event Biden did something that warranted him being impeached, or he's done something that warranted him being prosecuted, I don't think there's a person in here that would have an issue with that. Whether it's a
Bullshit.
person, we don't curse, whether it's a person on the left or a person on the
crap.
right.
Bull crap.
You heard about Eric Adams. He's just been indicted, right?
Yes.
Do you think I care that he's a
Dang.
Democrat?
Well,
No.
you know what? Let me just put it this way. Then you should really care because he's pretty much getting convicted of what Donald Trump got convicted of.
What is that?
What was he? He was trying to influence an election, right? Right?
Oh my God.
Is that true or not?
Oh my goodness. Well, Donald Trump did get
And the state
convicted
of New York
for.
hasn't even filed anything against him.
Donald Trump did get convicted for interfering with an election. You call it falsifying business records, but
Falsifying business records are not.
we know what
correct,
that
my
was
man.
about. We know what that was about. But here's the deal. 697. I'm going to call you 697.
Go ahead.
Here's the deal. You have a track record when it comes to Donald Trump. You've already seen him in office for 4 years. In that 4 years, he somehow miraculously managed to get impeached twice. All right?
Yep.
One for withholding aid to Ukraine, and then the other one for January 6th. All right? That
Yep.
just shows you he's really not a great person. He's not a great leader. Since then, he's been indicted 4 times. All right? One for the mishandling of classified documents, 2 cases as it relates to what happened on January 6th, and then obviously what happened in 2016 with the election interference and falsifying business records. He's been found liable for SA and defamation. He's been found liable for committing fraud, business fraud in terms of the $500 million.
Okay.
This man clearly is unfit to lead this country. And if they say, well, we should run the country like he runs his businesses, go look at his stock right now. For his Truth Social stock, it's plummeting. It's plummeting.
Look, you
So
keep on talking about what a big failure he is, but he hasn't failed it. I mean,
Why
you're
didn't he
judging
get
him on
reelected?
you're judging him on his 4 years.
Why
You're
didn't he
judging him
get
on his 4 years,
reelected?
right?
Why didn't he
You're
get
judging him on 4
reelected?
years. Inflation was at 1.9 before the pandemic happened. Unemployment was 14% when the pandemic was happening. He got it down to 6%. He practically gift wrapped it. He gift wrapped his logistics for the pandemic. He had the unemployment rate at 6% before he gave it to Joe Biden.
You know what that unemployment rate was when he had it those first 2 years?
Look where it came up to.
So you're not going to give Obama any credit for giving him a good economy?
What's a good economy, man? A good economy.
The one that
would be
you're,
what?
the
What
one
would you
that
say
you're,
a good economy would be.
the one that you're bragging about
No,
that he
that-
had
you
before the
can't- no,
pandemic.
but, okay, Obama, but Donald Trump. Let's say he
What
managed
did-
it right.
He
managed
didn't
it
manage it right, just like he didn't manage the wealth he
He
inherited
managed
from
it
his
perfect,
father.
right?
No,
like I told you before.
No.
Look, even Joe Biden says that America did better during
Okay.
inflation than anybody. The peak of inflation was 2022.
let me ask you this question.
Was 2022.
Let me ask
No
this question.
country- They're all practically every G7 country did
This
better
is
than
wild.
we did.
Do you
From
really believe this?
2022 to 2024.
Do you
And
really
they keep on
believe
bragging
what
that
you're
we got
saying
out of
right
it
now?
better And we did better than everybody else.
Do you really believe what you're saying?
Absolutely, it's there.
Okay, well, let me ask this question then. Explain why he didn't get reelected.
Well, you want to get into that?
If he was such a great president,
If
every
he was
time
such a great president, right, and we had this pandemic, and we changed laws across the country on the election. I'm not saying it got stolen, but we didn't vote the same way we did in other elections. True or not?
I'm asking a clear question.
True or not? I told you. I'm answering your question.
How you going to ask me a question? Answer a question with a question? I said,
I'm
if Donald,
telling you that it
I
wasn't-
asked you before, do
I'm
you
just telling
believe
that
what
it wasn't a
you're?
regular election? I'm telling you that.
What does that even mean?
That means that it was after a pandemic. You know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Other Republicans got reelected.
Other presidents, but they weren't the president.
Yeah. So why was it a
They
split
voted
ticket?
for the president.
What? No. Why?
Changed across the country, across the land on voting procedures in every state.
How about this?
Right?
How about this? Just like right now,
What's
you
the
got
number one
this.
fraud in an
Carrera.
election?
Carrera.
What's
You're
the number one fraud?
Carrera.
It's
You're
mail-in
spiraling.
votes.
You're spiraling.
I'm not. I'm just letting you know.
Here's the deal. Just like right now.
You know what? If he
Can
did
I
so
fin-
bad that for those 4 years, bro,
I'm-
he's about to get elected again. He's got a 50-50 chance right now. No matter what you say. or what
Carrera.
you do.
Jesus Christ. Listen, man, you're just not gonna come up here and just keep just rambling. Now let me explain to you. Just like right now, you got Republicans that are voting for Kamala Harris right now because they see the dangers of Donald Trump. That's why he didn't get reelected. It wasn't just the Democrats that were going against him. after a certain point, real Republicans said, this guy just won't do what we need him to do. We're going to help make sure to protect our country. We vote for Joe Biden. And the same thing is actually happening now, but at a higher level. All right. Now hit unmute. Hit unmute. All right.
My bad, bro. My bad. I apologize.
Level.
Hey,
All right. Now
so
hit
like,
unmute. You got to echo. Swipe out and then come back in.
bro. My bad. I apologize.
Hey. Swipe out, then come back in. Jesus Christ. I'm going to ask you to hit unmute. Are you there?
Are we good now?
Yes. I'm going to ask you to hit unmute. No. Drop down and come back up real quick. Come back up. Are you there? Send another request. See, this is what this is. Woo, these Trump supporters are all over the place this morning. Come on back up here. Well, I was telling him to swipe out and come on back up, but he was struggling with it, all right? Come on back up here. All right, so my thing was this. You have to actually start looking at what's actually happening within your party. You have, whether you like it or not, real Republicans siding with Kamala Harris. Right?
No.
You don't know who Jeff Duncan is?
No, I don't.
Where have you been?
Well, I know
Liz Cheney?
Look, I know Liz
Adam
Cheney.
Kinzinger?
Liz Cheney's never been a real Republican, bro.
Adam
You can ask
Kinzinger?
any Republican. Well, who was the next?
Adam Kinzinger? Mike?
They're even worse, bro. Come
Okay.
on, man. Give me some better ones.
Okay, so this is just straight denial and delusion.
Not denial, man. Kissinger's on. He goes in front of the Senate and just trashes Donald Trump every time, just like Liz Cheney.
Why do you
I
think-
would say those are rhinos, bro? Give me a better choice.
Why do you think they're doing that?
But they've been doing that since he was president. I don't even
You know,
why.
I'm going to tell you why. Because of what happened on January 6th when their lives were put in danger. Because of the mob that he summoned that attacked the Capitol.
But he said go in peace, didn't he?
No.
He didn't?
No.
Are you sure?
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy.
Listen to what he
And
said.
after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
What do you think about that? What about this?
If we have a sea of people,
who's
if we
this?
shut down the streets,
Who is this?
if we shut down everything, if we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the buildings.
Who was that?
Was that Majorie?
Yeah.
Dude, what are they saying? It's not true.
Who organized? Who?
Where's the incitement for violence there?
Listen. Let me
Where's
ask
the
you. Let me ask you,
incitement for violence?
sir. Let me ask a serious,
You're
sir.
trying to say inciting violence, and I heard nothing that incited violence.
Sir. Let me ask a serious question.
Go ahead, man.
Did Donald Trump lose the election?
You know what? He lost the election. You know why?
Stop. I didn't ask why. So why the heck was he having a campaign rally when the election was over?
Well, I think they were going to go cheer on the senators because
No, it makes no
just got
sense.
Sponsors.
It
for
makes
objections.
697.
Right?
It makes no sense to have a rally after the election was over. And you know what the name of that rally was?
What was the name of the rally?
Stop the Steal. And he put it on his Twitter page
Bro,
and told.
why was it called Stop the Steal, Zeus? Why was it called Stop the Steal?
Because he had a plan to attack the Capitol.
Because whenever they confirm the election,
listen.
you can have
Sir,
a sponsor to object an election, and that's what the senators were going to do before some weirdos came into that Capitol and started destroying shit, and they stopped.
Hey, we don't curse. But
I'm sorry, man.
honestly.
Oh, am I cursing? I got to stop that.
Honestly, you've been caught right now, and you're
I'm
just
not
squirming.
being caught, dude. I'm just being honest, man.
Okay, so It doesn't make a sense. It doesn't make sense to have a rally after the election is over. Number one. But then you're going to call it Stop the Steal and post it on your Twitter page and tell everyone to be there. It's going to be a big protest. Will be wild. I've talked to Trump supporters who saw that and they said that's what they looked at and said that's the reason why we should go to DC. So you got to understand that's why his supporters were there.
DC, bro, stop the steal. Do you know what happens whenever they confirm the election in the Senate room?
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
I am, bro, but are you listening to me?
No.
You're not listening to what I'm trying to tell you.
Because I'm not going where you're going.
Because every one of those objections had sponsors, unlike they did in 2016.
Are you following what I'm saying? I
am, but what's wrong with going to the Capitol and rallying? You got to let me know this, man, because you know what? That's a fundamental right for every American to do that. Now, is it a fundamental right to bust the bill? There's even videos showing that they're walking in the damn place.
But there was nothing wrong with it. Why are those folks in jail, in prison?
Well, a lot of them just got out, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
Some of them are in there for a long time.
Really? Because I would say about a month. A month
okay.
and a half.
So here's
if Donald Trump wins, that is.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. All right. You know what Donald Trump did to his supporters that day. It cost some of them their lives and some of them their freedoms. And what did he do? He convinced folks like you that the election was stolen when it really wasn't.
Dude,
and because of that, y'all went there and threw away your lives. All right. And he tried to recruit Mike Pence to be a part of it, but Mike Pence said, no, that's a bridge too far for me. I'm going to do the right thing, which is uphold the Constitution. All right. That's what happened. Okay. And why did Donald Trump not get reelected? It's because if you look at everything that happened while he was president, those two impeachments included, it showed he was unfit to be president. So it's funny to me how with all of that going on, you're still up here arguing, number one, that you're still arguing that technically he won.
Technically he didn't win. Technically Joe Biden won.
Okay. Wait. So wait a second. Now you just changed your position. So if technically he did not win, why the heck? Wait. If he did not win, wait a second. Mike,
election laws were changed throughout the land whenever people were
Sir.
So you got to tell me if it was different or not.
Let me ask this question.
Put the shoes on the other foot. Put the shoe on the other foot. Would you have a problem with that?
No.
Y'all had a problem with Russian interference, which is complete trash. That's
697.
That's in your face trash. But let me tell you another thing.
697. 697. Jesus Christ. 697. I have to mute you. If you admit that technically he lost, then there should have never been a Stop the Steal rally. That's all I had to say. There's no reason. There's no stopping the steal. There's no fake elector scheme. It's conceding the election and getting on out of there and working on a peaceful transfer of power. End of discussion.
No.
All this other hoopla you got going on, sir, is a waste of your breath. Seriously.
It's not a waste of my breath.
Seriously.
It's not. Let me tell you why.
No. All you got is hatred for Joe Biden and hatred for the vice president. You know Donald Trump lost. My work here is done. You know he lost. You know he was impeached twice.
November 5th.
And you know he's responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. So anything beyond this, as far as I'm concerned, is willful ignorance. It's a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of misinformation and corruption.
Nope.
Why should we spare you? Why should we spare you?
Me.
Why should we spare you this morning?
You just go read up what I just said and everything's true.
Nope.
75 million votes, bro. More than Obama. More than Obama.
We got a certified liar.
More than Obama. 75 million votes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he's unfit to be leader.
We have a MAGA demon. We got a MAGA demon in the box. who's just full of lies and misinformation. But he knows Donald Trump has lost, but he's still arguing for him. You know what we got to do? Join me in sending that MAGA-possessed demon straight to the lake of fire. Let's give him a round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Your assessment of the circumstances at hand is truly unique. Let's talk about it. Translation?
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So that's two certified MAGA demons. And people say, Zeus, you shouldn't use the lake of fire. You shouldn't throw them. But I have to help you all understand. Some of these people are beyond reproach. They cannot be helped. All right? Lie after lie after lie. Even though they admit Donald Trump has been impeached, even though they admit that he's been convicted, their hatred for Kamala Harris or Joe Biden outweighs doing the right thing. And this is what we have to continue to show the American people. These are the people you're dealing with out here that will sit here and try to condemn you for doing wrong, but then turn around and bend over for Donald Trump whenever he's doing wrong and say it's okay, he's doing it because he's Donald Trump. Yeah, right. All right, let's continue on, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, put a 1 in the chat real quick if you are a certified Trump supporter and you believe Donald Trump is the best thing for this country since sliced bread. All right, because what we have right now what we got going on this November is, do you want to put somebody in the White House? Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick, so much. Do you want to put somebody in the White House that's actually concerned about issues that affect everyday Americans? All right. Oh, who do we have? Who do we have here? Oh, yeah. What a show this morning.
Boy.
Why do you keep putting a 1 in the chat?
Cause you just get up here and lie every damn day. That's all you do. Misinformation, no receipts to prove nothing. And the Georgia case is getting weaker every day. They already threw two things out of the court in Georgia.
Okay. And then what else? Because clearly you show up. Because clearly you show up every day to learn.
Hold up now. And Fonnie Willis' boyfriend is on the run.
About what?
You can't find him.
What about Jim Jordan defying a congressional subpoena? You're not saying anything about that.
You ain't saying
that. Isn't that so funny?
What about Kamala Harris? Well, hey, that's
see. It's the Bama. It's the hypocrisy. You're worse. As a matter of fact, you ought to be embarrassed that you get on TikTok every day showing that you are a Snuggles University graduate. You really ought to be embarrassed. Don't you and Snuggles got something else to do this morning? Some Fox News and some Cheez-Its and some Diet Cokes to drink together? You're really you're an embarrassment to your family. You get on, turn your camera on. Bama, turn your camera on, seriously.
You get paid.
Can you turn your camera on? Can you turn your camera on, Bama, or are you still sitting in your underwear? Seriously.
No, I ain't. You're fine.
Yeah, he's sitting in his underwear. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. That's a certified MAGA demon. Disgusting as all get out. Snuggles University graduate, sitting at home watching Fox News, drinking Diet Cokes, eating Cheez-Its. Disgusting. And can you believe it? He says he's married. That means there's a woman somewhere kissing that man in his mouth. I don't know what to say about it, but ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me in giving Bama what he deserves. A round of boos of shame. Get out of here, Bama.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Oh my goodness. Good morning. Who do we have? Jinxie.
Hi, I just came up because you invited me. I love Harris. Voting for her.
Oh, okay. I thought you were a Trump supporter. They pinned
no. I was saying what about her? Like, what did she do? That's what I meant, more of that. But hi, it's lovely to be up here. But I'll go back down now.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Jinxie. OG Jinxie. A good old fashioned American patriot right there. A serious one, not one of these fake MAGA possessed demons. All right, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, who do we have next? Oh my God, who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we have next? Please. All right, I seen this MAGA demon asking to get in the box.
Doing? I'm returning the call from the other day there. West Virginia guy.
What?
I'm the Virginia guy.
Yeah, okay. Why are you back? Did you do the homework? Did you do the homework I asked you to do?
Oh, of course, master.
Well, see, that's the first lie, ladies and gentlemen. You see, he gonna call me master. Apparently, you got it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who that knucklehead is, but guess what? He's definitely a prime candidate for hell. Join me in giving him a round of boozers shade. He called me master. Where are the honest Trump supporters at?
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Where are the honest Trump supporters? Thank you so much, Ginger. All right, we have a serious situation, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, Vice President Kamala Harris, and she delivered remarks combating pew-pew violence yesterday. And this, once again, is another example of why Kamala Harris should be the president of the United States. We're not going to listen to it all, but there's a couple of things in there that I wanted you to make sure you understood.
School shooting drills are adding to this fear and anxiety. While we must be prepared, we should not be traumatizing students. That is why I am grateful to President Biden and Vice President Harris.
Thank you.
For not only leading on the issue of gun violence, but showing compassion while they do it. This leadership is something I have seen firsthand. Vice President Harris has comforted survivors across our country.
You see that?
She has walked the halls of my school in Parkland alongside the families of the victims. She has listened to Gen Z leaders and understands how we are feeling. And she leads the first ever White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention.
You hear that?
She is continuing her life's work fighting for the safety of all of our communities. And now it is my honor to introduce the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
You hear that? And one other point that I wanted to make sure that we got on the record, all right, is this. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Is this moment right here. This was pretty powerful. This was profound, all right?
Cities and neighborhoods and towns across our nation. And we know that the prevalence of this violence causes trauma that is far too often undiagnosed and untreated.
Listen to this.
Which means that the effect of it is from that moment and lingers for a lifetime if we don't take seriously what are the seen and visible and unseen injuries that result from this violence.
Law, you don't have enough
Over the
to come
years,
up.
I've held the hands of far too many mothers and fathers to try and comfort them after their child was killed by gun violence. And let us all agree, it does not have to be this way. We know.
Real president.
In our possession, we know how to stop these tragedies. And it is a false choice to suggest you are either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away.
Thank you.
I am in favor of the Second Amendment, and I believe we need to reinstate the assault weapons ban.
So that's just to make sure you all understand that she's not trying to take away your pew-pews, all right? And so you got to stop spreading that bogus lie out here, all right? And meanwhile, all right, while the vice president is, actually addressing real serious issues, all right, What do we have happening in this world? What do we have happening in this world? Oh yeah. First of all, the other thing our vice president did yesterday was she stood with Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine. All right, we got to make sure we get that on record.
The people of Ukraine is unwavering. I've been proud to stand with Ukraine. I will continue to stand with Ukraine, and I will work to ensure Ukraine prevails in this war. To be safe, secure, and prosperous, the United States must continue to fulfill our long-standing role of global leadership. We must stand with our allies and our partners. We must defend our democratic values and stand up to aggressors. And we must stand for international order, rules, and norms. Each one of these principles is at stake in Ukraine. And that is why Ukraine's fight matters to the people of America.
You hear this?
The Ukrainian people are bravely defending their homes and their homeland, their freedom and their democracy against a brutal dictator. And the American people know well the meaning of freedom, of independence, and the importance of rule of law. These ideals are central to who we are as Americans. And some of the most important moments in our history have come when we stood up to aggressors like Putin, just as we must today. Indeed, standing with our friends and defending our ideals against tyranny has helped make America the most powerful and prosperous nation in the world.
Thank you.
Putin's aggression is not only an attack on the people of Ukraine, it is also an attack on fundamental principles such as sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Amen.
International rules and norms are not some abstract notion. They provide order and stability in our world. They support American security and American prosperity. And when they are threatened anywhere, they are threatened everywhere. History has shown us, if we allow aggressors like Putin to take land with impunity, they keep going. And Putin could set his sights on Poland, the Baltic states, and other NATO allies. We also know that other would-be aggressors around the world are watching to see what happens in Ukraine. If Putin is allowed to win, they will become emboldened. And history reminds us, and history is so clear in reminding us, the United States cannot and should not isolate ourselves from the rest of the world. Isolation is not insulation.
Thank you.
So then, the United States supports Ukraine not out of charity, but because it is in our strategic interest.
Thank you.
We will continue to provide the security assistance Ukraine needs to succeed on the battlefield, as demonstrated by President Biden's significant announcement earlier today.
Thank you.
I've been proud to work alongside President Biden and the 50-nation coalition we have built up to allow Ukraine to defend itself.
You hear this?
Thanks to this coalition and the skill and the bravery of the Ukrainian people, along with your courageous leadership, President Zelensky, Ukraine has stood up to Russia's aggression, and today, Kyiv stands free and strong. President Zelensky, I am clear. Putin started this war, and he could end it tomorrow if he simply withdrew his troops from Ukraine's sovereign territory.
Thank you.
Of course, he has demonstrated no intention of doing that. Instead, he continues to assault civilian infrastructure and terrorize the people of Ukraine. In Switzerland in June, along with 90 other nations at the Ukraine Peace Conference, I told you that the United States shares your vision for the end of this war, an end based on the will of the people of Ukraine and the UN Charter, and that we must work with the international community to secure a just and lasting peace. And I told world leaders there, nothing about the end of this war can be decided without Ukraine. However, in candor, I share with you, Mr. President,
Here we go.
there are some in my country who would instead force Ukraine to give up large parts of its sovereign territory.
Donald Trump.
Who would demand that Ukraine accept neutrality and would require Ukraine to forego security relationships with other nations. These proposals are the same of those of Putin.
Wow.
And let us be clear, they are not proposals for peace.
They're not.
Instead, they are proposals for surrender, which is...
So she's basically pointing out that Donald Trump's proposal to end the war in Ukraine, with Ukraine and Russia, is for Ukraine to surrender to Russia. That's Donald Trump's plan. This is what makes Donald Trump the most dangerous person, if you ask me, on the planet right now. Not only does he want to destroy the United States, but he wants to destroy the entire planet with his selfish and personal plans. All this for a Trump Tower, perhaps in Moscow. This is why people ask me, why do I go live and do these? Because I don't want to really have to do this. But we have to understand the difference between a real leader and one that's pretending they are a leader. Name one thing Donald Trump has managed, honestly, name one thing that he's managed that you can actually say, you know what, he managed that very, very successfully. Name one thing. I'll wait. He couldn't even manage being president for one term without messing that up. It's truly sick. You know what Donald Trump would rather talk about? He would rather talk about furniture. You heard him talking about furniture?
From his speech.
North Carolina was once the beating heart of American manufacturing. I know it very well. I was here many times to buy furniture for buildings. I'd come and I'd look, and there was nobody like the Craftsman of North Carolina. It was filled with companies like this one and known everywhere for its incredible craftsmanship and skill. I know from personal experience, though, that I was a big buyer. I bought a lot of things here. That there was no place for furniture in particular like North Carolina. You were the furniture capital of the world, but now so much of that business has been stolen from you and it's made in China and other places. And by the way, it's not as good. The quality is nowhere near. You made furniture, you bought a chair, it was good for 30 years. You buy some of these chairs that they sell you now, they break after about 2 months. People are laying on the floor, suing you for giving a bitch. Then on top of it all, our government keeps them out. Then on top of it all, you get sued because they fell out of a chair at a hotel. Boy, oh boy, you made the best product, you made the best furniture. After the twin betrayals of NAFTA, which I ended, and China's entry into the WTO, World Trade, North Carolina lost over 300,000 manufacturing jobs quickly, including 60% of its furniture manufacturing jobs, and that number was going up until I came along.
All right, well, we're going to continue to watch this. We carried this economic speech in its entirety.
It was so bad, Fox News even had to cut him off. Why are we rambling about furniture, MAGA? This is your cult leader. Wow. I don't know how anyone in their right mind could actually go and say, well, I'm voting for Donald Trump. He has great plans. He has great policies. What the heck are his policies? Seriously. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. We don't got all morning. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter and you believe Donald Trump is the best thing for this country since sliced bread. All right, please put a 1 in the chat. You've just heard one candidate talking about doing things in terms of preventing pew-pew violence, standing shoulder to shoulder with our allies, and you got another candidate somewhere arguing about furniture. How do y'all justify supporting? How do you justify supporting Donald Trump, knowing he doesn't even care about the position? Please put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'm back. I just wanted to get a couple of things on the record, but I'm back. Come on up here if you want to say something to Big Zeus, please. Okay, Jeff. Listen, Jeff. I sent you an invite, Jeff. Don't act like you don't know how to hit accept, Jeff. Accept the invite. You know what I'm going to do, Jeff? You know, these people get on TikTok and they act like they don't know how to use the app. Moderators, you know what to do to Jeff. Please put him in a nice little straight jacket. All right, and we'll move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Put a 1 on the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you believe Donald Trump is the best thing for this country since sliced bread. All right, Cheryl, thank you so much for the hand. All right. Trump Troll 2024. Thank you. I sent you up. I sent you an invite, but you couldn't accept it. So, mods, you know what to do with Trump Troll. Trump Troll is not capable of accepting invitations, or he's not accepting it. All right. So, the Trump Troll definitely does not want to get in the box. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump lover out there. You're Karkin, you're from Norway and it's looking like a circus. What makes it look like a circus, if you don't mind? They are all scared because they're scared because they know the end is near. All right? And we've been doing it for a while, right? We've been helping these Trump supporters understand this November is going to be a loss like they've never experienced in their life. All right? All righty then. All right. One more Trump supporter. We don't got all morning. Come on up here and profess your love. Your love to Donald J. Trump. All right. What are they scared of? Oh, you're not a lover? How about this? How about this? Suze, you're not a lover, but you're voting for him. You'll do. Come on up here. Get it out. Come on up here. Come on up here, Suze Wan. Come on up here. You can explain to us why you're going to support Donald Trump, all right? Come on up, Suzwan. You know what to do. You got to hit accept when I send you the invite, all right? Suzwan, accept the invite. Good morning. Oh, there you go. There you go. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. Hi. Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
All right. Shout out to New Jersey. Do you said you're going to vote for Donald Trump. Why is that?
Well, security reasons, really. I want secure borders.
But he doesn't care about the borders. He wants to leave them wide open.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Every rally, he says he wants to do something about the borders.
You know why he does that?
Why?
So he can campaign on it. So if he leaves the border open, he can go hold rallies and get a bunch of folks like yourself to come in there and listen to him, you know, spew his, I call them therapy sessions. Really, these are just therapy sessions where he gets to complain about this country.
Of course. I mean, he's campaigning.
But because he could have met with Joe Biden and they could have came up with a solution and solved this border issue months ago.
Maybe, but why did they leave them wide open? There's
Why?
so much crime that we're not hearing about that I hear all the time.
Well, they're not. The reason they're open now.
Rapes going on.
You mean grape?
Rape.
Grape. We say grape on TikTok now.
Oh, great.
You gotta keep it friendly. We don't curse over here. We keep it real friendly. We try to keep
I
it.
didn't know that was a curse word.
Well,
I know what you're saying.
Yes, thank you. All right, and I'll try to help you out. So now that we know Donald Trump doesn't want the border to be closed, how does that make you feel about him?
I do I'm not a lover, but I do agree. Like, I followed him last election, and he pretty much held to his promises, and that's what I liked about him.
What promises?
I really do think that he's a little bit of a bully, but I really think we need that. I think we need that to protect our country. And
what about repeal and replacing Obamacare?
The health care, I think, is a work in progress.
But he promised he would do it. What about infrastructure?
My main concern is to keep this country safe.
Well, then you should
That's
vote for
my
Kamala
main
Harris.
concern.
You should
And
vote
I
for.
really don't think that we're going to be safe if we don't do something about the borders.
Well, you should vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Because guess what she's doing today? She's going there to visit the border. She's actually said she will sign legislation that will protect our borders. As soon as it gets passed, she will do it. Don't you want someone that will do it?
Well, Trump built the wall, didn't he? Didn't he
No,
start
no,
building the wall right
no,
away?
no,
As
there's-
soon as he said he was
he
gonna
built
build
some.
the wall,
He built
it.
some. He built some. But remember, his thing was, we're going to build the wall, and then we're going to make who pay for it?
Listen,
Who was supposed to pay for it?
there's a lot of like he was
Wait.
charging China tax, and
But
he's a businessman. I
but
just think he knows how to work with
but-
the people. He
but-
did a lot of good. He gave a lot of money to
But if
black
can you
colleges.
well, Biden has given way more. Biden Harris administration, they've given way more. But if you don't mind, who did he say was going to build that wall based on your research? Who was going to pay for it?
I think that there was a lot of different ways he paid for it.
Well, he said Mexico was supposed to pay for it. But guess who ended up having to pay for the portion that was built? You and I.
No, I don't agree. Sorry.
No.
He charged Mexico a lot of money.
No.
Coming over.
No.
You're just not hearing about it.
Suze, this is why I do these kind of, outreach things like this on TikTok. It's because I know there's a lot of folks like yourself that most likely you watch Fox News, maybe Newsmax, and you listen to Trump's rallies and you read his posts and you feel like this guy really has a great sense about what's really going on, right?
Well,
And-
what I've seen from Kamala, I don't have the answers. I just don't have the answers.
You know why?
And that's just my opinion. I've been following her rallies.
You know
I'm
why?
not getting any answers.
You know why? Because deep down inside it would be the right thing to do. That's how human behavior works, right? Sometimes doing the right thing is the hardest thing to do. And you're struggling with that because let's face it, are you in a relationship? Are you in a relationship right now?
Yes.
It's okay. What would you do if your significant other, decided to step out on you with a woman, another person, perhaps? Would that be grounds for, a conversation at least in terms of y'all not? All right. So we know that about Donald Trump, right? We know what happened when Melania was taking care of Barron. He stepped out and had that thing with Stormy Daniels, remember? And he tried to cover it up by paying some hush money, and then that turned into a bit of a nasty thing
Like
where he was
every other
convicted.
politician, come on.
But you
don't
wouldn't-
think it's
you would-
it hasn't gone on for years.
You wouldn't say that if
Every other
you're
president.
you wouldn't say that if you're
They
significant.
were digging and digging until they could pin something on
Would
him.
you excuse your significant other if you dug and found out they did that? Would you excuse them and say everyone does it?
No.
So this is why I tell people these are universal laws at work. You got to hold Trump to the same standard.
For him on that marriage.
But it matters, right? You wouldn't want to work for somebody that you knew was out there doing
there's
that.
a lot of stuff going on about Biden, and I mean, I can get into a lot of that
But
stuff that I've read.
I get it,
It all
but-
depends what you read. I really believe the
Thank you,
media
Sue.
creates a division,
But
that's upsetting to me because I have a lot of liberal friends. I don't want to create the division. I just don't say anything.
I mean, but
know?
silence
'Cause I want
in a way is compliance. Silence means you don't have a problem with it, right? You see somebody harming someone, maybe even a child. You're not going to stay silent. You're going to speak up. Right?
Yes.
That's the right thing to do. And even in those moments, it's very difficult to do, but it's the right thing. And that's what I said earlier. The right thing is to speak up and say, Donald Trump, you're a terrible person. How could you do all of these things and then ask me to endorse you? You know deep down inside that's the right thing to do.
I think he's fighting. I think he's fighting a fight.
Well, that's between him and the good Lord, right? I mean, he's got a lot of problems, but when you drill down, couldn't we say he's the reason those problems exist? Like, no one told him to go hook up with Stormy Daniels. He did that on his own. He wanted to take one down. But yeah, maybe others are doing it, but it's still wrong if everyone jumps off a bridge. Does it mean it's the good thing to do? No. Just got a bunch of people jumping off the bridge. Right?
But
now one of the things that I like to do.
You can't change my mind.
What about this statement?
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Let me play that again.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
What is that, in your opinion? What does that mean?
Listen, his whole women thing, like, I don't agree with, but I really believe that I believe he loves his country and he wants it on a good track. And if you go back many, many years when he was on Oprah in the 80s, he was saying if the country goes the way it's continuing to go, I might have to run for president. He's been saying this for years. He's been following it for years, and he's gave so much money. I mean,
what about this?
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Well, thank you for having me on, and thank you for your input.
Well, where are you going? I was just curious. I was just curious. At a certain point, there has to be a red line.
Yes, but if you go back to these last 3.5 years, there's 15,000 people pouring into our borders. And we can't have that crime.
Want me to give you some?
We have to check these people out.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to having immigrants, but when the crime comes along with it, it's just not right.
But listen, remember earlier I said Trump, he doesn't want the border closed. There was a bill that had solutions for every single thing you are saying is an issue. And you want to know what Donald Trump said? You want to know what he said?
What's that?
There is zero chance I will support this horrible open borders betrayal of America. It's not going to happen. I noticed that, and I'll fight it all the way. I noticed a lot of the senators are trying to say respectfully they're blaming it on me. I said, that's okay. Please blame it on me. Please. Because they were getting ready to pass a very bad bill. And I'll tell you what, a bad bill is, I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill. A bad bill you can't have, and that's what was happening in the House.
So he didn't want it passed, right? And then you know who Lindsey Graham is?
No.
You don't know him? Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, you don't know who he is?
Oh, yes.
All right, another Republican, right? Listen to what he said.
And I regret that. So everybody who comes on this floor and says our border's broken, we should do something about it, you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, we didn't get there. President Trump opposed a Senate bill. We couldn't find a better way forward that would get 60 votes. I hate that. But now we have to deal with what's left for us to take care of in the world.
So what I've shown you is evidence that the thing you're complaining about, actually, if you were to take it up with the manager, so to speak, you would have to go take it up with Donald Trump. And you're in response saying, I'm still going to vote for him. You understand you understand the confusion here? Why would you vote for somebody that's actually creating a problem for you and giving you more work to do?
My life was better under Donald Trump.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
What 4 years ago? What day would it have been?
What was so bad about it? Like you act like it was like he, people are saying he was Hitler. I mean, that's a pretty strong.
What was going on 4 years ago, the day of today?
I don't know. I just know that
what day would it have been?
It was much better.
What day would it have been 4 years ago? What day would it have been?
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, when he was president.
Yeah. So Trump announces. Let's see what else was going on during this time.
Listen, he was getting the wall built. He was doing everything.
No.
It might have not got. I don't know if it got passed or whatever.
Let me tell you.
He couldn't do a lot. He couldn't do a lot because of the House.
No, what was going on was C-19 cases were growing at an alarming rate. All right, that's what was going on 4 years ago. This was in New York and New Jersey. What else did we have? Over 200,000 people within the United States had lost their life as a result. Florida surpassed 700,000 in terms of cases. You don't remember any of this?
No.
You don't remember?
No, I just know now 15,000 people are pouring into the borders. Why can't you do something about it now?
Suze?
Why?
Suze, I got to ask you. I got to ask you, why would you lie?
Why is this happening now? This wasn't happening under Trump.
Suze.
15,000 people a day.
Suze, I got to ask you, why would you lie? You don't remember the pandemic?
The pandemic? What does that have to do with it? I'm talking about today.
Yeah, you said you were living. Let me look at, because you said you were doing better. You said you were doing
committing crimes, going to jail, and getting out of jail.
But you said you were doing better 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we were in the thick of a pandemic. You were not doing better. You got to admit that. And guess who was the president? Guess who was the president 4 years ago?
Yes.
It was Donald Trump.
Yes. Is that his fault, the pandemic? Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
You know why it's his fault? You know why?
Because he got the vaccine right away.
Oh, you want to use that? Did you get vaccinated?
He got the vaccine.
No, did you get vaccinated?
No, I'm not.
Exactly. So you can't use that because it's something.
I'm anti-vax.
I could tell.
My life because I have autism in my family.
I could tell.
That's what caused
I could tell. I could tell. But here's the deal, and I need you to really do this. All right. Everything that I've explained to you is tied to Donald Trump. You've been struggling to process it, which tells me that you're really deep into this cult, and you gotta want to get out of it. You gotta.
Nobody's controlling me.
Yeah, you are.
Ridiculous.
No, Sue.
Oh, you people!
Because there's no other way. There's no other way to explain why all these terrible things about.
It's the media's fault. It's not your fault. It's the media's fault. They create this.
No, I just gave you.
They put these sound bites in. They don't have the whole conversation of him talking. They just want to use everything against him.
Suze, here's the thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we don't agree.
Okay, that's fine. And so you know what I do then, right? Because once people start are you a Christian in any way? You a Christian?
I am.
All right. Are you familiar with the Lake of Fire?
The Lake of Fire? No.
It's a place that, a lot of nasty folks are going to end up because they didn't accept the Lord Jesus Christ to be their Lord and Savior, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got some terrible news to deliver to you. Your pastor might not have said it, but maybe you should consult the pastor and ask them why they have it. But you're a prime candidate for hell. And I hate to say that to you because you seem like a very nice person. But when you let this MAGA demon inside of you and let it have its way with you, you're unreasonable. There's no explanation as to why we can point out wrong behavior and you as a Christian turn around and say, it's wrong, but ... That's not what the good Lord taught you to do. He said you are supposed to avoid anything that gives the appearance that it's evil. Not in those words, but yet you gave excuse after excuse for Donald Trump. I don't get it. And you weren't living better 4 years ago, because when I pointed you and I said, hey, you were in the middle of a pandemic. We know what that was. I was here. The nation was locked down. Unemployment was through the roof. We had civil unrest. He was walking across the White House with a little Bible doing photo stunts, pepper spraying protesters. The man got impeached 2 times. At the end, he left the White House without engaging in a peaceful transfer of power and led an insurrection against the U.S. government.
It's a shame. The media is terrible.
No, it's a
They're
shame.
so biased against him. That's just my thought. And I'm sorry. That's just my thought. And
Well,
I gotta go because I gotta go back to work.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to take care of some very important business, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
No, do better. Unfortunately, Suze is possessed with the mega demon. And unfortunately, we got to cast her straight into the lake of fire. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Sue straight to the lake of fire. Let's give her a round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Your assessment of the circumstances at hand is truly unique. Let's talk about it. Translation, you done lost your damn mind.
Wow. Good morning, G-Man. How are you doing?
Wow. I hope I was about to talk to her about this. I'm getting tired of your Billy Boss and Becky's. I'm getting freaking tired. I gotta keep it clean. The frustration, being a Puerto Rican right here, I'm getting tired that, there's a little bit of racial overtone for talk about the border, right?
Yeah.
And I always stress it to y'all. I'm a blue collar, hardworking.
Yeah.
I had no time.
And you served our country.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Born and raised in New York. I know about that draft dodger, bigger than Coward from Queens, New York. I always tell you since he started running 8 years ago, you need to look at his controversies. All his controversies, all his issues he has. Then you know what I'm coming from. Also, if why the border has not changed, you need to do your freaking research. It would take about a few minutes of your time. I'm not the smartest person in the world. Trust me, I'm not. I look at a lot of people that have more information and knowledge than I do, and if in doubt, check it out. That's an old school me. If in doubt, check it out. Do your freaking research. That's all I want you to do. That lady, she's far on the right field, way off target. In baseball terms, way out foul pole, opposite side. But I mean, you try to be reasonable. You nice, y'all truly nice. But I hope she listened to this.
Go ahead, tell her.
Your people research. If in doubt, check it out.
Thank you.
All sources like Reuters and all this. I don't look at CNN and all that stuff. I learned that stuff when I just created right beside me.
Yeah.
If you always say, people don't take it out of my word or his word. You got to do your own research. That's it. It. Enough with the border situation. Contact your House representative if you live in a red state controlled by the GOP. I don't even call them GOP, the fascist American version of the fascist party, why they haven't passed it. Then you find out. Do your research why not, but just check Google through your search engine why they have not passed that.
Yep.
But it's really frustration. People still talk about that. Invasion of the border, but why you need to talk about people overstaying their visas? Why they coming to planes and ships? Oh, no, from Canada, no, whatever.
Yep.
But, that's not a subject we're talking about. For the people, I'm safe here, Columbus, Georgia. The storm went the east part of me.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm good. I'm good. But I just pray the people that's affected. Pray my heart's condolences for them. So I'm good. That's the reason I come.
Good.
The main thing about that. So people,
you're safe.
If you're safe with a location with this hurricane ahead, it's affected from Florida, Georgia. It's right. It moves so fast.
Yes.
It's spreading widespread in other states just as well. Be careful out there. Be careful with the flood too.
Yes.
Further inland.
And I heard the mosquitoes are getting active too, right? I don't know about it, but it sounded nasty. I said, wow, this is crazy.
It's usually always hit. I dodged a few times here, Columbus, Georgia, with the hurricane from Mike and all this few stuff.
Yeah.
Well, man, the man upstairs looking out for people. But you know, but also still, my condolences is affected, especially around Florida. What was a Cat 4. So you know, I have other people. It doesn't matter what political aisle, man. Everybody's affected regardless of what's going on. Just care one of us. We all Americans. We're supposed to help one another. But Zeus, I don't want to hold you on because I was listening to you making errands, and I want everybody to do me a favor. Go to vote.org and check your voter registration. If you're here in Georgia, they gotta find a way necessary to cheat, suppress your votes, and purge your vote.
Thank you.
Check it.
Check your voting records.
Check your records.
Get out there. All right, and make sure your voices are heard. And do not believe the lies that these Trump supporters are saying out here, because they're full of it.
You do a better job than I do because I have no time for that. That's why I don't do my own live because I know me.
Yeah, you're honest though. At least you got it honest, and it took a while to get here in terms of the patience. It really, I want people to understand. Like it's not that I don't see what they're doing. I see it, but I understand. If I don't do what I do, we'd have a lot different of a show.
That's the talent that you have, Zeus.
Yeah.
You got better patience than yours truly handle with these people that had a different point of view than you. And I'm basically independent, but I lean more to the left because I have empathy to other people besides myself. And I don't worry about me, myself, and I routine. I don't care about other Americans. I worry about the women rights, people with different sexual orientation rights, people that look like the host of y'all's truly rights, and everybody. But we're all Americans, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I'm gonna address you, so a former New Yorker, born and raised in New York, about the draft. Up to Donald J. Trump don't give a flying F about you, MAGA.
Thank you. Tell him again. All right.
Have a safe weekend, everybody. I'm gonna go give you the gifts and keep on tapping the screen. People share
All right. We'll do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to G-Man No Lies Detected. These Trump supporters, there's not going to be any excuse. When your day of reckoning comes, all right? Because there's just no excuse. You hear the truth and you choose to ignore it. Good morning, my good friend Nutty Professor. How you doing? Nutty, are you there? Lord have mercy. Super chair, Nutty. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, every time Nutty gets in the box, you got to go, what in the world? Nutty, where did you go, my good friend? Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. There he is. Dark Nutty. Come on back, Dark Nutty. And listen up, MAGA. These are people in their right minds that aren't in the cult. You just might learn something. It's very disturbing that y'all out there and y'all still believing all of these lies. All right. Nutty, what in the world is happening with your Wi-Fi? Oh my gosh, Nutty. We're having connectivity issues. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Nutty, I don't know what to say. Nutty. All righty then. All right. Nutty, send another guest request if you don't mind. All right, we'll figure it out. Good morning, Jimmy. Going once, going twice. I don't know what's happening with people out here, ladies and gentlemen. Something is wrong with the app. I guess Jimmy is having connectivity issues. We will bring up our next panelist. Good morning, Bounce. How are you doing, my good friend Bounce? How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. It's nice to see you today.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
I wanted to know, did anybody address Miss Carisha Candace Owens?
I did not. I did not. How about you?
Yes, I did. They put me off their live. I was on the Black Mega Live. And so I wanted them to explain, how is Candace so invested in tearing down another black woman, saying that her real grandmother, because the husband or the grandfather was married 3 times. How come she wants to say that Miss Harris is lying because the grandmother is a white woman?
I see it. It's the jealousy, right? I mean, Candace wishes she could ascend to the level Kamala has ascended to with the support around, around her, all right. But the truth is, she just doesn't have the same talent.
So all these black MAGA women are supporting her, saying Candace Owens doesn't do anything but speak the truth. But when she's speaking the truth, when the job that they expelled her from didn't want her to put her biracial children all over their page, they didn't want her to share the pictures, because at the end of the day, they still don't like you, Candace. You're just a mouthpiece for the MAGA crew. And right now, her face is starting to look like Lord. The rest of those women that hang out with MAGA, that plastic surgery's looking horrible.
The loomer, nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. And now I have one other thing I'd like to say to all the MAGAs out there. You know, as we get older, we're all going to be senior citizens one day. And if Trump gets in office, just know that you will not have your Medicare prescription drug costs and none of that. And you'll be out on the street. It'll be so many people who work in the medical field who will not have jobs because they're going to close down nursing facilities.
Right.
People that need that. So people need to pay attention to that, because at the end of the day, you won't have that either. And you YT people, like that lady who just left here and the other 2 you had on the other day, they all need to stay. You need to turn that heat up on that fire. Okay? Don't let it continuously burn.
Well, they don't want to turn the heat up, all right, because it's gonna expel the MAGA demon, that's what they're avoiding, right? It's gonna happen though, like you said, Bounce. Lady Giselle, thank you for the subscription. Let's go.
And they don't have that. You know, some people get checks for taking care of their grandparents, their mothers, their fathers. As they get older, guess what? You won't be getting that check no more. So you're going to be in the soup line with everybody else.
Yep.
Okay?
Tell them, Bounce. Tell them.
I want y'all to remember that, because, see, I fight for every senior's rights out there, because my mother depends on that. As I can't keep overstating it. If my mother doesn't have her Medicare or her retirement or her prescription drug costs, or if she was ever to go back in the hospital because she was diagnosed with a pre-existing disease, that's not going to be covered either. And guess what? It ain't going to be covered for you young people either.
Use your minds.
Wow. Use your mind, y'all.
Sue! Wow! Thank you, Sue, with the airplane Valerie. Wow, you are all so amazing. Thank you so much, Sue.
And so I wanted to address one more thing. What do you think about this Trump-Zelensky meeting?
Well, number one, I think what Donald Trump did yesterday was very out of pocket, right? He posted supposedly a message, a text message that he got from Zelensky. But you know, they have a very, very complicated relationship, because you know it was the whole Zelensky situation that got him impeached the first time. I don't know. Did you watch the From Russia with Lev Parnas? Sue, thank you. Did you watch that?
To watch that.
Yeah. So to me, this is all a publicity stunt for Donald Trump. I don't think it means anything as far as I'm concerned. It's just him trying to have a publicity stunt to make himself seem like he can actually do something over there. But When you know what Joe Biden did yesterday, he stuck it to Trump by giving that $2.4 billion to Ukraine. He basically made it an ironclad situation in terms of the United States support. So whatever Trump's doing, he's going to embarrass himself.
Well, they also debunked. Remember when
thank you.
$100 at that girl at the grocery store?
Yep.
They debunked that because that was a photo op for him.
Thank you,
When was the last time you ever heard of Donald Trump being shopping at Walmart?
Donald Trump never would shop at Walmart. He's too entitled, if you know what I mean. All right, he never would do that. It's all a publicity stunt with this guy. You see him getting off those airplanes and waving, and there's nobody there. I mean, this is what he does, and the only people that believe him are his supporters.
Yes,
it's sick.
I just love the fact that you bring it to them. I love the fact when you hit them MAGA demons with facts, they want to just run. And when you tell them it's time to go in the lake of fire, they get real scared. Like that lady told you the other day, please don't put me in the lake of fire.
No, you
belong there.
You're going. Because they got to know that their souls are truly on the line, even if no matter who wins. The rebellion and the willingness to embrace these lies and ignore truth, it's alarming. If you're doing that with Donald Trump, you're doing that in other areas of your life. Case closed.
Exactly. Because that means you stand up for young children being abused too. So
that part.
If it happens to your daughters or your sons, don't come crying. Because like I said, I ain't getting ready to break bread with none of you maggots when this is over.
Nope.
Because I already know what you feel about me and the rest of us that don't look like you.
Yep. Well, listen, Bounce, thank you.
Don't look like you, white MAGA people. Just so you know, she don't look nothing like you. And thank you, sir, for having me up.
You're
Love
welcome.
Your beautiful team.
All right, ladies. You know Nutty Professor gets insecure when you tell him about that. All right, but ladies and gentlemen.
Nutty, stop it. You can't even get up here with your MAGA Wi-Fi. You need to stop it.
Cooked.
Yeah, tell the t-shirt. He needs to stay out the kids section at Walmart to get his t-shirts, okay? Because we just have to put a sign up.
Cooked.
T-shirt, come back to Walmart and shop in the kids section. We're gonna arrest you.
Ooh-wee! Get him, Bounce. Get him.
I want to thank you for having me up. I love you so much.
All right. I love you too, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Bounce. No lies detected. Hey, Nutty, if you weren't so insecure and jealous about my handsomeness, brother, you probably wouldn't be getting cooked like this. And I don't have a problem if Bounce does it. Sometimes you gotta let stuff like that happen. Sometimes you just got to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Bounce another round of applause. All right. Let's see. We may have woken him up. Good morning, Nutty. Welcome back. Hopefully your mic is under control. Hopefully you're able to connect. Jeez. Nasty. Oh my God. Nutty, come on and patch through. See, this is what we're dealing with, Nutty. Something is wrong with your connection. All right. It's the MAGA Wi-Fi. He must be in a hurricane or something. It's the MAGA internet. Nutty, you're getting cooked in the comment section. Bro, you're getting cooked in the comment section. You got to do better. Maybe pull over, go inside, ask Starbucks to give you the password, and then, perhaps that'll work, and so you can get into live and talk to your brother Zeus, all right? Because Bounce she basically covered everything that I think honestly needs to be covered. I mean, she actually acknowledged that you're really not the handsome one out here on TikTok, all right? I mean, we're just being honest. See, MAGA, it's not just you, right? If people are lying on this chat, I will get them. Heaven says McDonald's fries Wi-Fi. That's hilarious. Am I right, Ange? Am I right? Nutty, you're gonna... You know what? I didn't want to do it to Nutty, but unfortunately, that Wi-Fi situation, it makes him a prime candidate for the Lake of Fire, right? We're going to go ahead and throw our good friend Nutty in the Lake of Fire because of his Wi-Fi. Let's give him a round of boos and shade. Goodbye, Nutty. I'm only kidding, Nutty. All right, I'm only kidding. I didn't toss you in there. I just showed you it was there. But please get that Wi-Fi under control, brother. Seriously. All right, who do we got in the chat? Put a 1 if you are a Trump supporter, okay, and you want to talk to Zeus. All right, Kamala for food stamps. Hammer01. If you don't get in the box, Hammer, I'm gonna ask my mods to put you in a straight jacket. Just put them in a straight jacket. I've invited Hammer into the live and they've declined, so you know what to do. Put them in a straight jacket. Any Trump supporters in the chat that want to talk to Zeus, please put a 1 in the chat. Thank you so much, Sue. I appreciate you so much. Any Trump supporters that want to talk to Big Zeus, just place a 1 in the chat, all right? And be prepared. Be prepared to actually tell the truth. If I start noticing, we should all be Trump supporters. Roger Henderson, are you a Trump supporter? Roger, are you a Trump supporter? I didn't know if you were a Trump supporter or not, but you're more than welcome to come up here and explain that statement. Put a 1 in the chat real quickly. We don't got much time. Hammer is scared. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Roger, are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here. I didn't know that. I didn't know people like you existed still.
They do, man. We want this country to be great.
No. You don't. You want to end our democracy as we know it. What part of the country? What part of the country are you in?
In Texas.
Are you okay if I call you MAGA?
Oh, hell yeah.
A real.
Don't get mad at me.
No. You're a real MAGA demon. So what issues in this country do you think Donald Trump would help solve?
Oh, my God. Where do I start? From the very beginning. Let's start with the border.
No. You can't use that. You can't use that.
Use what?
The border. You can't complain about the border.
Why
you
not?
know how to.
What happened?
There's a new rule going on out here. You didn't know?
No, tell me about it.
Yeah, so anytime a Trump supporter brings up the border, they're going to have to deal with the fact Trump said he doesn't want it closed, because if he closes it, then he can't campaign on it. So you can't use that. You can't say if Kamala wanted to do something, she would have did it, 3 years ago, because all of those excuses have already been used.
Okay, what about the economy? Can I use that one?
No, because actually we're doing pretty good. No, there's Biden passed legislation, right? The Inflation Reduction Act, right? Inflation is coming down. Unemployment's pretty low. Last I checked, the interest rates, they're coming down. So what is the issue with the economy?
Well, it's pretty bad.
There's some price gouging going on, and Vice President Harris already said in part of her opportunity economy, hey, we're going to go after these companies that are actually engaging in it and try to do something to provide relief.
You said that?
Kamala Harris did, yeah. And then you got the whole $35 insulin. You got $35. You got $35 insulin.
That's
remember?
What Trump said he was going to do.
And getting rid of those credit card fees, those junk fees.
She's just riding on his coattail.
So if Trump said he was going to do it, why didn't he do it? He had 4 years to do all this stuff he's talking about doing now. Why didn't he do it?
We had a lot of stuff going on at that time when Trump
was what? There. Like what?
We had the pandemic. Where were you? Where were you?
I was here.
Zeus?
I was here. But you got
No, you were not.
Yeah.
I didn't see you.
Here's the thing. A lot of people look at Trump's first term in office and they said, "Oh my God, this guy didn't even do his job. He never divested."
He did more than anybody ever could do.
Well, he ripped off the United States government.
Oh, he did? How?
Through his businesses, overcharging Secret Service to stay at his properties.
Yeah, right. Secret Service can't even take care of him right now.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to get his own.
Well, he hasn't.
Well, he has to.
So what you got is Secret Service were staying at his properties. He was overcharging them, but not just them. It turns out he was getting money from foreign governments through his businesses while he was president. So as far as I'm concerned,
dude, he didn't even take a check. What do you mean money? He don't even need money. He's a billionaire.
No. See.
No. Wait a minute. You know he's a billionaire. Why are you trying to deny it? He don't need our money. He never took a check from the government. He never did anything but make America great.
See, you
can't handle it.
No. See, I get it.
Of course you do. I know you do.
You're trolling, trying to troll Zeus.
Oh, troll Zeus. No, I don't troll Zeus.
You troll Zeus because you can't be this out of touch with yourself. I got it.
You're crazy, man. You know that?
Why?
Because you don't talk the truth. You got to be able to speak the truth.
I haven't lied about.
You're the demon, man. Come on. I know you lie all the time. That's what demons do.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
Throw the demon stuff at me.
I will.
I know you will.
I will.
You're Zeus. You're
Yeah.
the demon.
No, well, not
Talk
the
lies.
last part.
That's what lies do.
But here's the deal. Honestly,
Go
here's
ahead.
the thing. Here's the thing. I've given you nothing but facts, and you
No,
just
you
got
have
into the
not.
box. You just got in the box, and you just Zeus throw me into the lake of fire. Why?
That's what you do. That's your job.
Well, that is. But why should I throw
know
you?
Everybody knows it.
Why should I throw you in the lake of fire?
Well, why don't you? You do that to everybody else.
But they gotta actually show me that they deserve to be, because they've got to do things. All right. So are
Okay,
you willing?
You can throw me in the lake of fire for
Okay,
being
let me ask this. Let me go ahead. Let's go ahead. Since you're brave, ladies and gentlemen, we have a brave one. He just
Thank
wants
you.
to go in. What day
Go
did you
ahead.
take
You
the
know
oath?
you're gonna do
What-
it.
No. I'm trying to help you get there. What day?
I don't need your help, buddy.
No, listen to me. What day did you take the oath, the loyalty oath to Donald Trump? Because those are the requirements for you to end up in the lake of fire. What day?
I didn't take an oath.
Don't try to wiggle out.
I just
Did you
tried to
vote for
see
him?
what-
Did you
I
vote
did-
for him
I did vote for him. Yeah.
in 2020?
Yeah.
Oh, 2016?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who did you vote for?
Nope. Now I'm getting there. Now I'm saying, okay.
You gonna throw me in? Because you know you are. Because that's what you do. Your name is Zeus.
Let me ask the next question. Do you know why he got impeached?
Because of bogus lies.
See, now I'm getting there.
Oh, you touched a nerve, but you don't like the truth.
You're getting me. You're getting me there.
You
You're
don't like
getting
the
me.
truth, do you, Zeus?
You said they were bogus lies.
All lies, man. Look at everything.
You call what he did on January 6th a bogus lie, huh?
What, dude?
You
He didn't even do nothing. What did he do? Tell everybody to walk down there peacefully.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
of course.
that?
You don't
What's
see
wrong with
anything
that?
wrong with it. Okay, I got something for you.
You tell me what's wrong with that. What did he
You
do?
know- What about those classified documents?
Lies and bullshit. That's all.
Oh.
Dude, there you go. There you go. Go ahead.
Any last words?
You don't like the truth.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
You see, this is what it's boiled down to, ladies and gentlemen. The truth isn't in these people. They just enjoy being vassals of transgression for Donald Trump. No shame in their game. Are there really women out there dating guys like this? Any women out there find that last guess, what his behavior was like? Y'all like that kind of stuff? Any Trump supporter ladies out there believe that last guest was actually somebody you would love to go out and date and possibly marry? Put a one in the chat if you believe that previous guest was somebody you would love to take home to meet your parents, be the father of your children. Because this is, when you vote for Donald Trump, this is who you're giving permission to actually say their behavior is acceptable. Put a 1 in the chat, especially if I'm listening and I'm looking for women out there that vote for Donald Trump and believe that previous guest's behavior was totally acceptable. Either you're hiding or you are agreeing with me that you know that it was just downright disturbing and disgusting. Oh, Gregory said he'll do the marrying. You'll do the marrying, Greg? They are scared, Ange. They are scared because this is what I've been telling them at the whole time. They know none of this stuff they're doing makes sense. Greg, welcome. Are you a Trump supporter?
Absolutely.
What part of the country?
I'm out in Las Vegas.
All right. Did you see that previous gentleman?
No, to be honest.
You just got here.
I listened to you quite a bit, and I caught the very tail end of it, but I was doing things, so no, I didn't hear the whole conversation.
Okay, great. Why would you, if you've listened to me quite a bit, that means you kind of already know all of the things I've talked about.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Would you say that I'm lying when I say things like?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't think you're lying. And I mean,
Thank you,
bottom
Sue.
line is you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican. But
Okay, but before Democrat and Republican, wouldn't it be fair to say we're both Americans?
absolutely.
Okay. Is it in your opinion that we should put country over party?
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I think this is a great step in the right direction. I'm really out here, honestly, trying to help people get out of this cult that they found themselves in. So, did you vote for Trump in 2016?
Yes, sir.
2020 as well?
Yes.
Why would you vote for someone that you know lies so much?
I just think he's better for the country. My question to you is, you guys always bring up, Harris is bringing up things like she's going to do this or she's going to do that. She's going to fix the economy. Why isn't she doing it now? And I don't want to hear, well, she's only the vice president. She can't do those things yet. They just had an interview with her not very long ago where she spoke and she said she and Joe Biden work tirelessly every day and she's the last person out of the room with him. All she's got to do is talk to the man and say, Joe, why aren't we doing these things now? Why aren't we putting these things on the table now? What are the Democrats waiting for?
Okay. What authority does the vice president have when it comes to things going on in the economy?
Like I just said, Zeus.
I didn't give you the answer that you said you don't want to hear, but I'm just thinking about it from an understanding of I understand how things in the country work in terms of the U.S. government. I don't know all the intricacies, right? But I don't know what authority the vice president has been granted that would allow them to actually do things when it comes to the economy. So is there something that a vice president is allowed to do when it comes to addressing what's happening in the economy?
Talk to the president about it.
That's about it.
Absolutely.
So how do you blame someone that doesn't have the authority for what's going on? That's irresponsible.
You guys blame everybody that's around Trump.
No, we don't. We blame Trump. I blame Trump.
So many people on TikTok bring up other people that Trump know, like Jeffrey Epstein and this guy and that guy, and you guys blame Trump for these mistakes, even though.
Oh, okay. So you're saying Trump being Jeffrey's wingman, that's Jeffrey's mistake, not Trump. And that's acceptable if that's what you believe. I don't agree with it, but
oh no, I agree. I agree with him hanging out with the wrong crowd is definitely a wrong thing to do. There's no doubt.
Whose fault is it if he hangs out with the wrong crowd? Is it the crowd or is it him?
Of course, it's him.
Okay. Okay, so we're on the same page then, and I believe you understand that if it's something that Donald Trump should be blamed for, we're going to blame him. If it's something he shouldn't be blamed for, we're not going to blame him. That's just how
Again, though, she talks about she's with Joe Biden all the time and has it here. So why doesn't she just talk to the man and say?
She probably has. I think if you look at some of the things she's proposing, it doesn't quite tie to the things Joe Biden has done. So what that tells me is she's probably mentioned it, but he didn't decide to go with it. And that happens in any decision-making type of situation, especially when you got multiple people. When you got multiple people contributing, like there's a lot of people that surround President Biden. They might be all suggesting things that he should do, but the final decision comes down to him, right?
So absolutely. So then
we can understand. You can understand now why the things she's talking about doing, and if they're not done, you can kind of understand why now. It's because she didn't have the authority to do them, and that's something you and I both agreed on.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That she can't do it, but.
So how can you blame? You can't ding somebody for something.
The Democratic Party is running on what Harris is saying.
Well, we're not just running on that, but we're also taking into account the realities that are actually going on, right? when the Biden Harris administration took over, did they get a peaceful transfer of power opportunity? Like, when Obama handed it over to Trump, their teams.
No, that was a crazy group of fanatics that stormed the Capitol.
But imagine, Greg, though, not having a transition team helping you take over the government and dealing with an insurrection and a pandemic all at the same time. Can you believe President Biden and Kamala Harris went into that and just put their heads down and did the work? That's incredible. And in 3 years, they passed a lot of legislation. Whether we like it or not, they showed us that they got a lot of work done. And they just weren't sitting on social media arguing with the media. They weren't getting impeached twice. And they haven't been out here lying. Now, okay, there's still some impact of the pandemic going on that's affecting the American people. I'll give you that. Could the economy be better? Yeah. Could the border be better? Yeah. But I don't think those were the real issues when they took over. We were in a crisis.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh? So wouldn't it be fair to say that they did a great job, given the fact that they didn't even get a peaceful transfer of power? And look at where we're at now. We can debate about things again. Imagine that's a lot better of a position, in my opinion, than to be in a space where we are spiraling out, having to send money to Americans to help them out because they can't go to work. Schools are shut down. That was scary. And I don't know why Trump supporters like to pretend like the pandemic didn't happen when it did.
A lot of it, in all honesty, Zeus, my opinion, a lot of the country didn't need to shut down, especially places like Montana, Wyoming, places where people are pretty much social distance anyway.
But it did.
I think they should have gave it to the states and let them decide what to do.
But it did shut down, Greg. And the Trump administration shut the nation down. And instead of Donald Trump, leading the pandemic, the COVID task force, it was Mike Pence that did it. So one of the things that I like to explain to Trump supporters, which is whatever credit you're going to give Donald Trump for his 4 years, you really have to give it to Mike Pence.
Well, I thought Vice President couldn't do anything.
Under normal circumstances, but because of Donald Trump's failed leadership, you can see Donald Trump had delegated authority to Pence to handle those things because he was incapable of doing it. Man. Under normal circumstances, he wouldn't have had to do that. But you saw Donald Trump the first few press conferences. The man couldn't tell the American people what we needed to hear to save his life. He was causing panic and chaos. Under normal circumstances, a president doesn't need that to happen. But in this case, it did have to happen.
Yeah, that pandemic, a lot of false information was coming out.
And where did it come from?
The people that were around him, the doctors, all that stuff. I mean,
okay, so now we get to leadership 101. If you surround yourself with a bunch of bad people, what does that say about you?
Now you're probably not going to do a very good job if you're listening to them.
It also says it says you don't know how to pick great people to surround yourself with. Has he learned how to do that yet?
I'm assuming he took the people that he was recommended that knew what they were talking about. I mean, come on, Zeus. If you're looking to get something done in your life, and if five of your friends recommend somebody, and you use them, and he ends up being a worthless, piece of junk. I mean, whose fault is that? Is that
your campaign manager goes to prison? A couple of people part for your campaign, they go to jail. Michael Cohen goes to prison. You get indicted. A lot of the people who used to work for you, they don't want to work for you. Other Republicans are saying, don't run for the hills. This guy is dangerous. At a certain point, you got to look at the common denominator, Greg, and say the common denominator is this guy, Donald Trump. There's just no way it could be everybody else except him.
Partly, I agree with you.
right?
I agree with you.
The impeachments. The impeachments. You know why he got impeached, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who do we blame for that? Zelensky?
Zelensky? Mm-hmm. Is that what you said? Zelensky?
Yeah.
Why would I want to blame Zelensky? And
So who do you blame for him getting impeached the first time?
Donald Trump himself.
Second time?
I didn't follow the second one.
The January 6th situation. You don't know that?
Oh, the January 6th one? Yeah, that was a problem. But again,
who do you blame for him getting impeached?
Yeah, but you can go ahead and start twisting things around and start saying, look at all the problems we had with Democratic.
Wait. The answer is Donald Trump. The answer is Donald Trump. The answer is Donald Trump, Greg. So we have somebody that's on their own, they get in trouble. And when they surround themselves with people, the people around them get in trouble. And so does he. The common denominator is him. So why would you, honestly, in good faith, knowing this, go and actually put him back into the same situation that got him into all of this to begin with?
Well, just seems like when he was in office, things were pretty good. You know, whether he's not the best likable
Wait a
man
second. They seemed pretty good, but we just went through a bunch of stuff that wasn't good.
Well, we went through a bunch of stuff in the last 4 years.
I guarantee you, if he gets back in the White House, I don't know, he's probably going to get impeached. There's probably going to be a huge disaster going on, and there's going to be an endless amount of scandals and crimes being committed.
I mean, I'll be honest, Zeus. You see so much fake news.
A leopard never changes his spots. You ever heard that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're not going to teach Donald Trump anything new. You know what you're going to get with this con artist. So you are saying you're willing to go through another pandemic-like scenario and let him get in there and start lying to you about what's going on. You're willing to experience a national lockdown all over again.
Well, it's if COVID ever.
It could come back. It could come back.
Absolutely.
Anything could happen. Anything could happen. And you see his decision-making skills on full display. He's been found liable for essaying and defaming women, right? He's been found to have been committing decades of fraud. What do you think you're going to get out of this guy the next time he's in office? What example do you have now that shows Donald Trump is making better decisions? You just heard about him lying about people. You heard about him lying in Springfield, Ohio, the Haitians?
Oh, about eating the cats and dogs?
Yeah. He's still showing you he doesn't know what the truth is and doesn't care.
Well, I actually saw the news clip of that. And the problem with Donald Trump is he takes some person on the street's word for it and goes ahead and runs with it.
Right, but that's how he got into the situation he's in now, right? Yeah. A good leader wouldn't duplicate the same mistake over and over and over. So you and I know that there's been enough time for him to learn not to do that, but he's still doing it. So why would you put your faith in a man to actually hope he does the right thing?
Unfortunately, brother, I just don't believe in Harris. I'm sorry.
You don't believe in who?
In Harris.
I know you don't, but that's why I do the work that I'm doing. Because I want you to walk away from this conversation and go, you know what? I am voting for a terrible person. And I feel good about it. And then I want that to just be what you say going forward. Because honestly, you don't want to support Kamala Harris, and I think I know why.
Why is that?
Because of the internal issues you have going on within yourself. Perhaps it's because she's a woman. Perhaps it's because she's a woman of color. But if you're looking at two of them and you're looking at their qualifications on a sheet of paper and you had to evaluate them and say which one actually is the most qualified, there's no way on earth you could conclude the candidate that has been convicted of felonies, impeached twice, found civilly liable, and still getting into trouble is the most qualified candidate compared to the candidate that doesn't even have that record and is actually tied to an administration that is actually proven they've been very successful in a small amount of time. She's been a part of it. If you were to take their names out of it and just look at them on paper, you'd be ridiculous to hire a convicted felon to come work for you. So there's something inside of you.
No, it has nothing to do with her race. It has nothing to do. I can care less, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm trying to find. I'd like to get the best leader for the country. I wish to God we had two young people running, somebody like JFK and another Republican that was younger,
Greg,
that understood.
how old are you?
59.
59. So you've seen a lot of things in this country.
Absolutely.
You know about America's history and the legacy of slavery and civil rights and the struggles women have had in this country.
Absolutely.
Okay, and there's some bias that's going on inside of you because, like I said, if Donald Trump had her record and it was the other way around, you and I would both say she's totally not qualified or fit to be the president if she was doing what he was doing. But it's a sad day in this country when you have two candidates going up to be president. One of them has a record that belongs in the trash can, and the other one has a pretty good record. And people say, I would take the one with the terrible record over the one with the good record. Why? Well, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sound sense. In any business setting, Greg, you would not hire a convicted felon. You would not bring on anybody that is a liability to the business. You wouldn't intentionally do that.
Probably not.
I know you wouldn't, because it would impact your bottom line and it would take away your opportunity to be able to provide for yourself and your family. You'd be wasting all your time dealing with this liability. No one in their right mind says, yes, give me more risk. I want more risk. I love it. No one does that. People want less risk, more reward. So the only conclusion, Greg, that I can come to is because you might be racist, you might be misogynist, or both.
No,
and there's some internal. There's some things you got to just really look in the mirror and come to grips with and say, that's what it is. Because other than that.
Don't put me as a racist or I'm against people of color, nothing like that. I've never been.
Okay. Then explain to me why you would. Okay. So why would you make a terrible business decision?
I suppose I've just been in the Republican Party my whole life. And I vote Republican, you know. But
there's other Republicans, Greg, that are saying I can't even do it. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. They've done so. What I'm saying is there's other Republicans that have been in your situation, if not worse, and they've said I can't go and support Donald Trump in good faith, including the former vice president. So it begs the question, Greg, what could make a person side with somebody that has a terrible record versus someone that has a good record? You got to give me something else. What else you got?
That's all I got for you today, brother.
So we're going to end with it's racism and misogyny.
If that's what you want to believe, I guess that's your prerogative.
You need to check on that, and you really need to work on that.
Okay.
Because you could be missing out on a lot of great opportunities because of that. You just said if these were just two random folks, we didn't know what gender they were, what race they were, and you looked at their records and you evaluated them, you would not select the person with a terrible record. The only thing that's changed is now you see who they are. One's a man, one's a woman. One has color, the other one doesn't. And your mind goes, I got to go with the one that has a terrible record. And you don't think the rest of us can see that the reason you're doing that is because you have these biases. You might not feel you're a racist or a misogynist, but after talking to you, you failed to give me a solid answer that explains why you would make a terrible decision. And the only thing that makes sense and lines up with everything else that I've seen in my life is the fact that you might be a racist and biased against women. That's just what it is. And you need to work on that. All right, Greg, you need to work on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Greg is unfortunately a prime candidate for hell. And guess what we're going to do? Send them straight to the lake of fire. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Greg what he deserves. A round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Look at the time. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Shay. How are you
Good
doing?
morning. How's everyone?
Oh, we are all right.
I'll tell you, this has been an interesting show. I've been able to see parts of it today. I'm actually facilitating a DEI workshop next week in Houston.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Maybe Greg can get an opportunity to get there, right? Thank you, Rick.
Yeah. My friend does these things where she works with large companies.
Thank you, Rick.
Do a series of things throughout it's like a 2-year process, and they pay
Yes.
for it to train their staff and stuff. So anyway, I get to facilitate that. So that's going to be really cool. So I had that Zoom call, but anyway, I've been listening in, and I just, I love the work you're doing, Zeus. And I'm glad that you're maintaining, just really listening and asking really good questions, not losing your temper. I love our friends on the left, but there's a few of them that are just, having a hard time right now, which I get. We got 39 days to the election, and we need to solidly be at peace, guys. And just remember, like, Zeus has 1,000 people in here now. So, like, remember to your audience, it's not just who you're talking to, in the boxes, it's the audience that you're talking to. You could
Correct.
be sharing information with people that are listening, and you don't know who's in here. And so you showing decorum, you showing listening skills, you showing genuine wanting to understand the other side's point of view, I think would help a lot. So I'm just kind of letting you know that. So I just kind of wanted to say that. But back to politics. Did you see Zelensky and Trump?
I didn't see it. They met today. What happened? Please.
Oh my God. So let me see if hold on. You have to hear the audio. So literally they come out.
Yes, Ange. Hold on. Ange wants to say something. Yeah, please go.
Go ahead, sweetie. Hey, baby.
No, you go. Because I heard it too. Jess just sent it to me. You go. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, yeah. So first of all, he goes in and they ask him questions, and he basically talks about the hoax of the first impeachment in front of Zelensky.
Really?
Not shitting you.
Wow.
And
I got
tango. It takes two to tango.
Sorry. Yeah, it takes 2 to tango, all this stuff. Yeah. And then the last part, he basically is standing there and he goes, Zelensky is Vladimir Putin. We have, whatever. What does he say? Here, let me see if I can play it. Here we go.
About this meeting, so what I expect to hear from President Zelensky. What are your expectations? Say it a little louder, please. What are your expectations from this meeting? What do you expect to hear from
Look, this is a meeting, and we have a big race going on right now. I guess 37 days left, and we're leading in the polls, so we'll see how it all works out. Hopefully it'll work out, but we're going to work very much with both parties to try and get this settled and get it worked out. It has to end at some point. It has to end. He's gone through hell. This country has gone through hell like few countries have ever, like it's happened anywhere. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's a terrible situation. And I will say I have had a great relationship. He was very honorable. I don't even know if you know this, but when they did the impeachment hoax, it was a hoax, just a Democrat hoax. Wow. But one of the reasons we won it so easily is that when the president was asked, it was over a phone call with the president, and he said he could have grandstanded and played cute, but he didn't do that. He said, President Trump did absolutely nothing wrong. He said it loud and clear.
No, he didn't.
And the impeachment hoax died right there. He could have said, well, I don't know. I don't know. And I never even told you this, to be honest, but he was...
Because it didn't happen.
Like a piece of steel. He said President Trump did nothing wrong. Very nice call. He congratulated me on his victory. He just won. I remember that. He could have played cute, and he didn't play cute. I appreciate that. So we have a very good relationship. And I also have a very good relationship, as you know, with President Putin. And I think if we win, I think we're going to get it resolved very quickly. I really think we're going to get it resolved. I know we have more good relations. We're going to have, I think. Yeah, but, you know, it takes two to tango, you know, and we will, we're going to have a good meeting today.
Oh my fucking God, he just...
I think the fact that we're even together today is a very good sign. And hopefully we'll have a good victory because the other side wins. I don't think you're going to have victories with anything, to be honest with you. So we're going to sit down and just discuss it. And if we have a win, I think long before January 20th, before I would take the presidency, January 20th, but long before that, I think that we can work out something that's good for both sides. It's time. And by the way, the president knows that too. He wants to get something done. He doesn't want to do this. And so we look forward to having him. I mean, I look forward to being with him. But what I said is true. He was a piece of steel. He gave a very honest, straight answer, and that it really essentially ended the impeachment hoax. And I appreciated that. Thank you very much, everybody.
Unfucking believable.
Wow.
Sickening.
Wow.
Unfucking believable. If y'all didn't catch when Zelensky turned to him, because he said, we have a great relationship with President Putin. Zelensky turns to him and says, well, I hope that we have even a better one. And he goes, oh, yeah, we'll see.
Takes two to tango.
Two to tango. Again. He's fucking telling Zelensky, if you do me a favor.
I'm going to get shit.
Yeah, I know. I love you.
I'm going to get shit.
She don't care.
I'm sorry.
I get it. You're upset, though. I get it.
Hey, Mom, it's not me this time. It's not me this time.
Mom, you're going to have to put me in a corner. I'm sorry. I just, y'all, when are you going to wake up? This man is literally quid pro quoing right there again in front of your faces, in front of the world with Zelensky, whose country has been decimated. He's literally saying, it takes two to tango. We will see. But I love how he stood like a piece of steel for me. He didn't get cute.
Wow. What does that even mean?
What does...
Who knows? I don't know. The dude's crazy. He's crazy. And all you Trump supporters coming into my lives, you're getting crazier and crazier every day. And I just wanted to echo what Shay said. I'm sorry to do this in your live, but you have 911 people, and a lot of them come to my live as well. So I want to say something. You guys, my mutuals, I love you, but you got to knock it off. You got to knock it off. I get it. They're all passionate, Zeus. We're all very passionate, but we can't talk over each other because what Shay said is exactly right. Our people in the comment section, they can't learn because they can't hear when everybody is yelling over each other. And the people in the comment section are the ones we really need to reach. I know we all have something to say. We're closer and closer to the election. We are passionate, but we still have to stay focused. We still have to educate the people in our comment section. And as somebody who hosts Zeus, I get messages every day. And mostly it's like, Ange, we can't hear.
If there
So
are, that's why I kind of have to do. I mean, and I did that before when I started.
I agree
You
with
all
you.
were there, right? We used to have
Mhm.
we used to have a serious party in the box, and it got
Yep.
like, you gotta just. Then we had the bell. I haven't done the bell in a while, but
Yep.
it was helping people understand. Like, one, the host has to be able to figure out what needs to go on to keep the live going, right? And you want to try to get as many inputs as possible, but there's a lot of things that go along with that. What I say is, I know that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to watch the show. So, like, if I upload it, a lot of people don't know all the ins and outs of what's happening on this app, right? They just want to listen. They want to hear the information, and they don't know what we all know and hear every day. So you just kind of got to keep that in mind.
That's all I want. But I love y'all. I do.
Yeah, love you too.
And that's why I do this. I want you all here, and I want everybody to hear. HEAR.
Tell them to.
That's all. That's all we want. And Shay knows. Shay's a great help to me when she comes in my live. So
Yes.
we want to hear all of your voices. But we need to try to do that one at a time so we can educate. Because, like, I have people, Zeus, real quick, that I didn't even know that DM'd me and said, Ange, I listened to you on the way to work. I'm like, oh my God, you listened to my S show of a live? You know what I mean? But lately they said, but we can't hear. And we have brilliant people on these panels that we need to listen to. And we need to be able to hear you all. So thank you.
Well, that's why when I join, I just hit mute until the host calls on
Yes.
me, because I know how frustrating. And again, I'm very, very passionate too. But to your point, playtime is over.
Yep.
We have to work on recruiting people and not driving them away from the Democrat Party. And so, like you were saying, Shay,
Exactly.
it's really about showing how to have a mature conversation. Still be assertive, still stand your ground, but really delivering in terms of the communication and not just saying, you know what, I'm throwing up my hands, I can't have it. Because someone looking at that on the other side that really might be confused will look at that and go, well, why is this person not answering the question? Why are they being so difficult? Yeah, this person doesn't make sense. And they could be saying that about the host. And so
Yeah, and it looks
I had
bad
to,
on-
people
it
tell
looks
me
bad
that all
on
the
me.
time.
Yeah,
People-
it looks bad for me too when I can't do this. And just one last thing, real quick. We've had a lot of young people
Yeah.
coming into our right, Shay? We've had a lot of young ones coming in, literally genuinely asking questions, looking for this education. And Shay, I don't know if it's because we're both mamas or something, but we kind of have a little more patience for that. And I
they're
really,
young.
I asked
They're
exactly.
young.
We want them, right?
Yeah.
We want them on our side. We need them, and we want them. Let's not push them away.
They're just
And one
breaking
last-
from mom and dad's house. They don't know anything yet.
Exactly. They're 19 years old, Zeus. The other day we had a 19-year-old. I think Shay was there too.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I'm like, you baby them or whatever. No, we need them. Let's get them all. Let's have the conversation. We need them. And one last thing, shout out to my baby girl whose birthday is Sunday.
All right, shout out to
That's
the
it.
baby girl. Oh my God.
Thank you, Zeus. I know you gotta get going. I appreciate you.
That was a one heck of a PSA announcement from you two. All right, seriously.
Yeah, I think it's
Thank
important.
you.
You're doing a good job, and we just got to help our friends to it's okay, calm down.
Yeah. I appreciate you all. But I appreciate you all. I want to have a good live. I want everybody to hear each other because
Yeah.
we have brilliant panelists.
Very
So
good.
anyway, thank you so much. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right, Shay, and right, Ange. Thank you. I do gotta get.
so much.
I gotta
Yes,
get up
yes,
out of
yes,
here.
We'll let you go, but just pay attention. Everybody needs to watch that video again and listen to what Trump literally says back to Zelensky.
Will do. I'm definitely going
Yourself.
to.
That was insane. Anyway, love you guys in the kingdom. Everybody have a wonderful weekend.
All right. You two, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay and Ange. No lies detected. Yes. Yes, that is a valid point. As we get closer and closer to the election, we actually are going to have to turn up the temperature and make it clear that we are the people that are reasonable and informed, all right? And you want to make sure you're giving that as much as possible, all right? Versus just looking like you're hot-headed and you just are trying to get your way. That doesn't work, at least from what I understand. All right, before we get up out of here, I want to give every single one of you a round of applause. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to hang out with Zeus, right? Seriously. I also want to give a special thank you to all of my subscribers, to all of the gifters, to all of the panelists and the moderators. You have once again helped me out by helping to keep this show entertaining, engaging, and educational. Thank you. But you know what we also got to do? We got to give one last round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. And this goes out to all of the Zeus haters. And these are not just my haters. These are also your haters. These people get on TikTok day in and day out and spread misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. They promote evil, misogyny, bigotry, xenophobia, all kinds of corruption, racism, and just nastiness on behalf of their orange cult leader, Donald J. Trump. Trust me when I tell you this, folks. These folks are the worst of the worst, and they are truly the scum of the earth. Join me in giving them our final round of, you guessed it, booze and shame!
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And on that note, we are out of here. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the like. You're welcome, Evan. You like that song, right? Go ahead. Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's end the week with a bang. Let's go. Hey, MAGA, it's over. It really is. Tell the angel. Take his hand. Woo, woo, woo. Hey. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Woo, woo. Thank you, Sue. Oh my gosh. We had a great show. All the love is out here. Alter Ego, thank you for those subscriptions. Get out here and vote. Don the Don, thank you. Wow, look at all this love. Lisa. Tiffany. Wow, look at all these subscribers. Drop some water. Get those knee pads ready. Woo! Let's go. Don't Democrats know how to have all the fun? These lives aren't just dry and boring. Oh my God, Cole has a day. Woo! Hell yeah! Look at the dog. How you get the dog to put the balloons in their mouth like that? Hey, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Yellow Sue. Hey. Let's go. That's Tokyo. Let's go, Angel. Bounce, thank you. Sue K. Wow, look at all of this love. Wow, the Zeus hands. Woo! Cold as a day. As you can tell, I like the song, right? Isn't it a great song? You need that kind of energy to make it through the day, ladies and gentlemen. All right, seriously, with all this stuff going on, you need this kind of energy. Woo! I love partying with all of you, seriously. All right, we got to get up out of here, but you know what we got to do? Let's get up out of here and end on a high note. All right, let's end on a high note.
You don't mind if I go off teleprompter for a second, do you?
Woo!
I promise to be a president for all Americans. You can always trust me.
You want insane asylum?
Above party and self.
I'll give you insane
to
asylum.
hold sacred America's fundamental
I'll give it-
principles, from the rule of law to free and fair elections to the peaceful transfer of power.
All right, listen. Since you've all been so kind, I'm going to give you the insane asylum. All right. Someone asked, they said, Zeus, I love it when you do the insane asylum. Let's give it to him.
Insane asylum.
You like that one?
Insane asylum.
You like that?
Insane asylum.
You like that?
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter.
There you go.
Okay, they say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter? He must be cognitively in trouble.
That's right.
No. These are real stories. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lamb. He's a lovely man. He wants to have you for dinner. He'd like to have you for dinner.
All right. You guys want me to do the connect the dots 1, 2? Let's get it
She
out.
said, I don't think I've ever said this
We're gonna
before.
connect
So
the
we
dots.
do these rallies, they're massive rallies. Everybody stays to the end, by the way. You know, when she said that, well, your rallies, people leave. Honestly, nobody does. And if I saw them leaving, I'd say, and ladies and gentlemen, make America great again. Now get the hell out, okay? Because I don't want people leaving. But I do have to say, so I give these long, sometimes very complex sentences and paragraphs. But they all come together. I do it a lot. I do it with Raising Cain, that story. I do it with the story on the catapults on the aircraft carriers. I do it with a lot of different stories. When I mention Dr. Hannibal Lecter, I'm using that as an example of people that are coming in from Silence of the Lambs. I use it, they say, it's terrible. So they say, so I'll give this long, complex area. For instance, that I talked about a lot of different territory. The bottom line is, I said, the most important thing, we're going to bring more plants into your state and this country to make automobiles. We're going to be bigger than before. But the fake news, and there's a lot of them back there. You know, for a town hall, there's a lot of people. But the fake news likes to say, oh, he was rambling. No, that's not rambling. That's genius when you can connect the dots. You gotta connect those dots. Now, Sarah, if you couldn't connect the dots, you got a problem. But every dot was connected, and many stories were told in that little paragraph.
Bam! All right, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing.